Hey everybody, welcome to Cerebral Arcade. I'm Stacy, and today we're going to be getting back to Cinders. Oh, hello. Oh, puppy. Okay. Yeah, she gets excited when I start talking. So, all right, that's enough. How's everybody doing? Hi, Kinetic. Yeah, puppy's very excited. So, yeah, but for anybody else watching, yeah, I've been in wine country all weekend and just got back a little while ago. And yes, somebody is very excited for me to be back. So she is letting me know about it. And yeah, like every time I move, she's kind of coming over oh my God, hi, so excited that you're here. So yeah, I know, very lucky indeed. Yeah. Somebody very special took me out to wine country, so yeah, it was really nice time. But yeah, so today we were gonna get back to Cinders. Oh, well, thanks, Kinetic. Gonna get back to Cinders. I'm really hoping today that we're gonna get far enough to hit the ball. Okay, hi, yes, we're all very excited to see you. Yeah, here she is. She's gigantic. Okay. And if she's too disruptive to the stream, we can put her away. But this is literally every time I see the puppy. Yeah, she's very excitable. She's still young, but yeah, she's very excited. She's looking at me who are you talking to right now? But yeah, I'm hoping we're gonna get to the ball today. We've talked the last couple times I've streamed this about how I'm not super excited about any of the romantic options, and so we've kind of been actively discouraging all of the romantic options. And so I'm sort of curious how the game is going to handle that when we get to the ball and this very quintessential Cinderella moment. What does the quintessential Cinderella moment look like if we are not actually interested in the prince? So yeah, this game promises to offer alternate relationships from how the story normally plays out, and I have not looked up spoilers, so I don't actually know to what degree that's true. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to get a little bit further and see where we go with it. Cinderella should always run off with a fairy godmother. Clearly she has the most power, made mice into horses. It's true. Yeah, and I presume the fairy situation is less of a fairy godmother and a little bit more hey, your parents were cool to the fairies, so we'll see how that plays out. And also how they depict the fairies, because they seem to be kind of leaning a little bit more into a fae kind of interpretation, which carries a little bit more ominousness to it as well. So yeah, kind of curious how all of that goes and represents itself. How are you doing, Kinetic? Doing well? Tired? Yeah. Someone gave you too much wine. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling that too a little bit. I have a little bit of a flush for the stream. But no, it's fine. I'm sitting here sipping on tasty tart cherry soda concoction, so trying to kind of come down from all of the wine and hopefully be able to sleep tonight. But I don't know, it might be a one more glass in the evening sort of situation for me today. We'll see how it goes. But okay, I'm gonna dive right into the game because we have been going through it a little bit slowly, and I do sort of want to make sure we can push through. Did I just say new game? Oh God, I think I did. I imagine they too won't get any sleep tonight. Oh God, I think I did. I'm gonna go back out to the menu. Let's try to load Okay, good. There's an autosave. I just had a moment of panic of like, oh my god, did we just lose our save? If we did, we were stopping the stream. Like, I'm not about to like try to play through this to get back to where we were. But no, this is fine. So it looks like it autosaved right after we had our big conversation with the sister last time. Okay. Cinder says, hello there, Hall. Let's see what new surprises you have in store for me today. So I have to warn you, after the conversation I've just had, I'm hard to impress. Okay, yeah, and then I think we already had this conversation with our sister where she kind of tries to get more information out of us about the situation. And she like wants to come with us, and for some reason we say no, and we don't really have an option to say yes. Hey y'all, what's the hot goss? Hi NBA Dag, how are you doing? Yeah, we are picking up, it looks like right where we left off last Sunday, where we've just had a conversation with our sister, the bad one that has been being terrible, and she had like a moment of humanity, and we have like a little bit in common with her, and she's like softening to us a little bit. But Sophia, our other sister, totally hates her. So you know, she's sort of coming up to us like, oh hey, what did she have to say? And we're like, no, actually, she's pretty nice. But yeah. Yeah, this is cute, like a cute little interchange. But also, this feels very much like a payoff dialogue, and there's not a ton of choice or anything to like change any of this. No, I think slapping her would be going a bit too far, don't you think? I don't know. I think it would be fun. How are you doing, NBA Dag? How's your weekend been? So when it comes to Gloria, I don't analyze and stick to the golden rule. Violence is always the answer, with Gloria, apparently. I see. I think you've just given me a bit too much information there, Sophia. Oh, you're such a child sometimes. In case you didn't notice, we're living in the middle of a dangerous and unforgiving forest. This place is packed with wild, bloodthirsty predators. And wherever we choose to see them or not, they're there. What a lovely thought. I'll think about it on my trip through the woods today. Oh, you're going out again? Ah yes, I remember the sisters are not fans of each other. I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Didn't do a whole lot today, but did finish the book I was reading. Yesterday I played some Dusk, which was a hoot. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't played Dusk. What book were you reading, if you don't mind saying? Cinders is like, I have to eat something first, but yes, I am going out. Why? And she's like, oh, I was just wondering if you, well, what is it? Sophia, are you blushing? And then this is like the moment where it's actually giving us a little bit of ship bait between the two sisters. Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not blushing. I was just thinking that maybe you could use some company. You want to leave the house? Yes? Is that a crime? Dearest Sophia, no. Not in my book. Of course I'd love to go with you. All sisters are always BFFs, I'm sure. Well, we are BFFs with Sophia because we like had to chop some potatoes one time, and in the process we like super bonded with her. And I have been playing it to kind of angle more toward Sophia. I really like her, which is why it makes me so upset in this particular scene where like she wants to hang out with us and we're like, oh no, sorry, you can't. For like no clear reason, like the game hasn't really given us a reason why we shouldn't, and it really feels like a moment that should have been a choice because like as a player, I'm wanting to roleplay in a way where I get closer to this sister, so then having the game sort of like undermine that agency and decide for me, oh hey, no, you can't do that. It's like, I don't know, it's a little steps on the agency a bit. Solo Viola. Highly enjoyed it. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard of that book. Oh yeah, we had to fix dinner and she was all, yeah, you're taking the heat for me. Yep, that's exactly right, NBA Dag. Cinders are like, don't be like that. I'm really sorry, you just caught me by surprise, but I really would want to go out with you whenever we get the next chance. Yeah, because that's gonna happen. Like, our mom is out of town. Yes, I understand. Go then and have fun doing your secret stuff. Thanks, I will. We'll see you in the evening. Okay, so the only place we have to go is town, so we will go to town. Another day of freedom I can spend in town. There's always something going on here. Even now, I see commotion in the street. I wonder what it's about. Townswoman. The moment I saw my cow die, I knew it. It was those evil beads of yours that did it. I love her face gets like so evil looking. What are you talking about, woman? My poor Molly has died. She was in so much pain for days. She mooed like she has never mooed before. It was almost like moaning or crying. It was your fault. I've seen the bad omens. My poor Molly moaning and the odor her wretched body made. It must have been your curse, witch. Cows smell on your own. And Molly didn't need my help in that department. You might not have noticed because you only bathe occasionally. Dang. My poor Molly is dead, lifeless as a clump of mud on the street, and the heartless witch that you are, you dare to jest about it. I knew it was your doing, you wretched. I'm laughing because there's little else to do. How should I react to your stupidity? You want someone to blame? I told you to come to me so I could take a look at your bloody cow and heal it, but did you listen? No. The animal's pain was not enough reason to spare a few coins. But I did bring her to you. NBA Dog says, I really enjoyed it a lot. Cool. Yeah, I had another of the authors under a different pseudonym called In the Time of the Blue Ball, and that was fantastic as well. Oh, that's cool. I get the same way after I eat Mexican food. Yeah. When it was terminal, before that you said it's for fate to decide what happens, and who would have guessed? It doesn't work out well. But you said the cow would die, and she did. I said it'd die if you won't take care of it. The damn cow was seriously ill. You could see that for yourself. You only came to me when it couldn't move anymore. Yeah, this is like a back and forth again. I feel like we just cut like a third of this out. Only then you realize trusting fate won't do. Well, too late. Now you're searching for someone else to take the blame for your stupidity. Oh, but she didn't die until you look after her. Okay, yeah, we get it. We get it. They're arguing. Shut up or else I'll turn you into a frog or a cow to compensate for your loss. Oh, Smolders McBelts. What's going on here? Oh, good captain, please arrest this evil witch for killing my poor Molly with her evil eye and her devilish beads. Molly? My poor cow. She was so kind and helpful. Is there any truth to what she accuses you of? I think I missed part 2. Is this the fairy godmother on the right? So, it looked for a moment like it was setting it up to be that, but there's also actual fairies going on. So it seems more like she's a bit of a misdirection fairy godmother, and it also seems like we might be getting some tropey hero's journey, like the mentor kind of role, but it's also kind of leaning into like the mystical black person trope quite a lot, and it's definitely had a little bit of like uncomfortable moments of that, but she's supposed to be like a voodoo witch, so yeah, but we've not had like the transformation and gone to the ball yet, so theoretically she could be the fairy godmother. Okay, yes, we're paying attention to you, aren't we? Yeah, okay. Okay. Is this a Cinderella story or the OC? Both is the answer. Yep, it's Farah. She's, NBA Dag, yeah, I've been away for the weekend and I just got back like a couple of hours ago, and so Farah has been missing me a lot and is very excited and wants me to be paying attention to her all the time. Okay, that's enough. Alright, I'm gonna let her hang out on me for a minute, and hopefully she'll kind of calm down and stop being so anxious. But, yeah, she's gigantic. She's like a 70-pound lapdog. It's fine. Okay. Alright then, my dear lady, I'm gonna have to ask you to go home and wait till I sort this out. But I'll make it my responsibility to sort this out. Now please go home and do not pursue this matter on your own. Okay? I do apologize for this woman's behavior, and I hope you've not been bothered by this. You know how townspeople are when they feel hurt or helpless. He's so superior. I really hate this guy so much. He's a trope that I just, like, cannot get behind. What did you steal? Hey, that's not yours. That's not yours. Oh, you know, just like a little item spec that I had on a post-it note here. Somebody stolen. Okay. So, okay. This scene is clearly meant to, like, endear us to him a little bit more, so that's, interesting. These are good people, they just get carried away sometimes. Is that why you murdered 2 of them? This guy totally, like, killed people in the first episode. They expect you to always be able to bail them out of their problems. For generations, they did that. All the old noble professions, yours is still needed. Of all the old noble professions. Was that a reference to prostitution, do you think? Okay. Oh yes, I'm so needed that you had to intervene. How many times has it been now? Or landlords? Yeah, it could be. Them blaming me for their own stupidity. This town sure has a strange way of showing appreciation. It might be the time to move on now. So surely you don't mean that. Just yesterday, this young woman told everyone in the inn how much you've helped her. Sure. A grateful lady nobody listens to one day. Insults, blames, and pitchforks the next. That seems like a good cue to leave. You have good reason to be angry. Oh, just give me some time, please. I need to think. Someone in this town should, anyway. Fine. I consider the matter settled, and you will do as you see fit, like you always do. See, like, and then he just kind of turns into, like, a jerk as soon as she's not, like, listening to him. I don't know. Buckles-von Trenchcoat. It's definitely a trope, but strange writing from Madame Gide. I agree. Oh, look at him just, like, scooting on in there. Good day, Cinders. I did not notice you standing there. Yeah, I've just been, like, hanging out this whole time while you had this conversation. Good day to you too, Captain. May I inquire what is going on? He literally slid into her DMs. He did. NBA Dag, he did. He slid right on over. Oh, just another day in town as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary. Sure, let's attack the witch as usual. Exactly my point. That's not what I meant. I meant there's no danger, so you do not worry, Cinders. Everything would be fine. Yeah, this dude is, like, constantly treating me like a frail flower. I don't love it. I don't love it. Don't you have some robbers to kill? Or at least vagabonds to hold down by the ear? Or do picking up girls become a priority for the town's watch? Dang. I like her. I've been in many battles, and I've stood my ground, but when a lady as decisive as Madame Gide gets her temper up, there is no shame in retreat. So please excuse me, Cinders. I shall bid you ladies farewell. I'll stay in the inn for a while if you feel like talking. Oh, no need to apologize. Farewell, Captain. What happened here, exactly? People are strange here, illogical and stupid. They just sit and demand, do nothing and hope. Morons. So far, all of the bonding that we've done with Madame Gide has been over how, like, yeah, how stupid the other townspeople are. So yeah, I'm kind of curious how this is gonna play out. The time has come for me to change scenery. What did they do? Oh, nothing spectacular, just more of the usual. People come to me for medicine, for advice, for a solution to every stupid problem they've created. They still fear me, though. Every time something goes wrong, I'm to blame. They used to blame the devil or evil forces. Now the evil forces conveniently live next door. Surely the townsfolk did not mean that. They seem to respect you a lot. There's a very thin line between respect and fear. This happens at every single place I travel to. It takes time for resentment to build up, however. A new town should do. But you have friends here. Just a second ago, I thought I saw you speaking with the captain on very familiar and mostly friendly terms. Yeah, a little bit of awkward wording there. Oh, we do have some history together. Okay. But do not let me bore you with the details. No, please do. Oh, go ahead. That's what I thought. Yeah, let's hear those details. Your curiosity is commendable. But let's discuss something of more importance. Have you given any thought to our last conversation? Not yet. I haven't had the time to. Good. That means I don't have to give more advice right now. So the last conversation, for context, she had talked to us about our stepmother and how she has a lot going on. Yeah, take your time and come to me when you've decided. But I don't remember what we were deciding on. Just don't wait too long, because I intend to leave this damn town soon, and I will not look back. Thank you. I will take time to consider and decide soon. I feel like it might have been hi, Biostats. Hi, all. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, it's been a really great weekend. I've spent most of the weekend in wine country and just got back a little while ago. So definitely a little flushed and a little tired, but doing really well. You do that. Goodbye, child. That woman really got to her. Who would have thought? Tough, cynical Madame Guide, whose wrath can move mountains, touched by a simple townswoman's remark. That feels like a really bad reading of the situation, but okay. I'll have to consider that side of her, vulnerable and so human. But right now, I have a whole day of freedom to plan as I will. What shall I do now? Maybe pay Tobias a visit again? You do anything fun there, or take it easy? I would say both. I basically spent the weekend taking it easy, which was very much needed. So I mean, lots of wine tasting. Like, stayed up in the mountains, very pretty sort of like cabin up there, and yeah, had fantastic food and fantastic drink, and kind of hung out, read a bunch of my book, and yeah, hung out. It was a really good time. So we could go visit Tobias. We could go to the tavern, chatting with townspeople, making friends, and hearing all the gossip. That is where the life of the town concentrates. Which book am I reading? So, so you went to the Eagles direction, took it easy, and took it to the limit. That's right. That's good. What book am I reading? So right now, I'm usually reading like a fiction and a nonfiction book at the same time. And usually doing one on audiobook and one print Kindle. And so right now, the fiction book I'm reading is the audiobook, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing, which had been on my backlog forever. And the nonfiction book, I'm kind of going through a series of nonfiction books that people have recommended to me about burnout, actually. And so I'm reading one called The Body Keeps the Score right now, and that was the one that over the weekend I spent a lot of time reading. So, something to be said about reading about like the science of burnout while hanging out on like a vacation to wine country, but it's actually really nice. I'm really liking the book. A lot of time. That's in reference to something that the chat delay, I think I missed the context of that kinetic. Very cool. Yeah. Cinders says, and the captain said he was headed there. Speaking to him proved to be worthwhile so far. Choices. Watch out, Cinders, and you get used to it. That feels like a direct address to the player, being like, oh, been a while since you've had choices. Dubious on lots of time reading. I don't know. I got through like a quarter of the book, so yeah. Well, and the other thing too is certain states make it a little difficult to read in after you've had lots of wine tasting all day. So yeah. No, I wouldn't say lots of time reading. Yeah, that's fair. But I would say time reading in the downtime between wine tasting and eating delicious food and hanging out with cool folks. Okay, right. So tavern or store. This is basically like, do we want to choose between Tobias or Belts McGee? And as much as I don't love Belts McGee, Tobias was pretty terrible the last time we talked to him. So between the two, I think I prefer the tavern. Hard agree, cannot follow a book if I'm buzzed. Yeah, I'm fine with a lot of fiction, but nonfiction, and especially like this one that's a little more sciencey, not the easiest to follow if I've had a couple of glasses of wine. Tobias is not going anywhere, and I'm starving. Sorry, friend, but this girl has her priorities straight. Does she, though? Yeah, does she, though? Because the first thing she says when she walks into the tavern is, I wonder if the captain's here. If it's audio, I end up going back over the content, like, wait, what happened? Yeah, I think that it's easier for me to follow audiobooks in that respect than reading sometimes, because like if I'm reading, it's like my eyes will continue scanning but my brain will be somewhere else, and then I have to go back several pages and be like, wait, what? Whereas audio, for some reason, I don't know if it's like music training like made me predisposed to it or whatever, but I feel like with audio it keeps me more focused on the thing I'm hearing. I used to do the same thing, one fiction and one science, but now I read so much for work, I dropped that. Yeah, that's fair. When I was like doing the PhD crunch, I had very little time for reading. But I actually have a Substack newsletter that I put out once a month, and I usually have a list of the books that I have finished that month. Sometimes if I'm like very ambitious with little descriptions of them, but a lot of times it's just a list of like, here's what I'm reading. I do audio when I clean or pick up. I have to be careful not to do anything that takes mental effort. Yeah, that's fair. And for me, kinetic, it's also, I can't talk and listen at the same time. So like if somebody comes in and a conversation happens, then yeah, I have to go back and be like, wait, I didn't hear any of what happened. But generally, like if I'm alone and I'm cleaning or whatever, or going for a run, I'm usually fine to like keep focus on the audio. I also think it's telling that I'm like, ooh, let me have a conversation with chat this, because like, yeah, Smolders McGee, I'm just like not interested in him, chat. He's not doing it for me. Like Cinders is coming and being like, oh, I wonder if the captain's here. He is such an intriguing man. I wish I could spend a little more time getting to know him. And today it almost sounded like he invited me here. And I'm like, I have no time for this sociopath murdering bandits. Like, oh, didn't see you there in the middle of this conversation I've been having for 5 minutes. Like, homeboy is like negging us constantly. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't like the OC either. Is he really intriguing though? He seems mostly just evasive. Yeah, evasive and like very emotionally unavailable, and I have no time for that. Wait, is he coming towards me? So you came. I remembered correctly that your name is Cinders, right? Yeah, no time for this guy. No time. Yes, I'm surprised you recognized me on the town square today. Okay, Town Square also is the name of this app that my like apartment complex that I uses for like neighborly forums and stuff. So like my brain immediately registered that app as this, even though clearly that was not the thing. Oh Lord, Neg City. Yes, I agree. I'm feeling neither of these guys. Like Tobias was a bit on the negging side last time we hung out with him. And like this dude, yeah, not feeling it, even with his like dopey facial expression. Well, you were on my mind. Would you care to join me for a drink? You were on my mind, but I don't remember your name. And I've met you 4 times now. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd be happy to. Hang on, you were thinking about me? Yes, you came to mind after a recent discussion I had with the prince. Oh, I'm flattered, I think? What were you talking about exactly? He has awful Yelp reviews, and you know he's on there disputing them. Biostats, you're so right. A candidate for wife, of course. Surely you've heard about the king's last wish. Oh, that's that right click. Actually, I haven't. According to the king's final wish, the prince cannot be crowned until he's found a wife for himself. So the coronation is being postponed, and every noble in the kingdom is trying to foist a daughter on him. It's been very tiring for him, as many of these women are groomed for looks alone. He's losing faith. But I think that the world still holds many bright, intelligent women, and you're living proof. Oh, gag. Oh, well, I'm grateful for the compliment, but I'm not sure what else to say. My apologies. The drink is making me more direct than it is proper. Okay. These days, there's little to pass the time in my position, so I spend many hours here. I don't want to bore you with the small complaints of my life, and I apologize for being so curt with you when we met last time. There's just like a whole bunch of meat hanging up in the background. There totally is. Decaf Jedi! Hello! Oh my gosh, it's wonderful to see you. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we're playing Cinders, which is a mature retelling of Cinderella. And so this Sean Bean looking character is the captain of the guard, who, oh, I love the 8-bit Jess emotes. That's great. So he's the captain of the guard. He's besties with the prince. We are not loving him. He's definitely the sort of like brooding archetype. He's been negging us constantly. On the flip side, we have Tobias, who is our childhood best friend, who also kind of negging us a bit. So far the romantic things have not gone great. We haven't actually met the prince. And Smolders here is just telling us that as besties with the prince, he was just telling the prince about what a great candidate for wife we would be. So, but he's already negged us like 4 times in this conversation. And I appreciate NBA Dag pointing out the copious quantities of meat just hanging up in the background there, and a bunch of garlic, it looks like, from the looks too. Cinders says, honestly, I should probably apologize for bothering you when you wanted to be left alone. Girl, you need to get some self-esteem. All right, maybe he's worried about vampires. Maybe he is a vampire and he's trying to cover Scars McLeather. Yeah. It wasn't a bother. I found the discussion very interesting. Listen, I know you asked about the prince last time. Are you still interested in learning more? I mean, it would work with the brooding. Stubble McSwoop hair. It's good. Are we still interested in learning more? We can ask him to tell me about the prince or tell me about yourself. Well, I do not care about yourself, so we definitely should go with the prince on this one. Rebelts. Final Fantasy VIII was his favorite game growing up. Yes, definitely. I would love to hear more about the prince, especially after what you just said. Oh, God, I really am like, all right, let's pack up with Madame Guide and let's just leave town, because, like, I want none of this. If we can run away with Sophia, our sister, I think that is, like, my best possible ending at this point. The sort of man who's interested in more than just a woman's appearance seems interesting to me. Not gonna lie, put a moppy hairstyle on Timothy Chalamet and it's him. I don't know. I support that 100%. Grab Sophia, get the hell out of time. Yeah, start a new life as bandits. I don't know, then Smolders might literally murder us. So, who knows? Okay, he says the prince is interesting, albeit very young. The king was highly respected ruler for many years. Filling his position is a huge burden for the young monarch. Living in the shadow of a strong personality? That sounds familiar. It must be so difficult for him. I have faith in him, though. He has the drive and passion to become a truly great leader. He's also not afraid to change things that need to be changed, however challenging that might be. The old noble houses don't like change, especially if they lose power in the process. The prince must be prepared to face some difficult, potentially dangerous opposition. He must be a brave man, then. It certainly seems so, but time will tell if he makes the right choices. Some are harder than others. Noble houses, huh? Well, what do you mean? The prince may have to use force on his opposition to achieve unity. The king wasn't afraid to wage wars, imprison dissenters, or even assassinate his enemies. This dude is so sketch. It's a brutal position to be in, and the prince might have to make similar decisions. What should I say? Horrible or understandable? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure there's much difference in either of these. I guess, like, we might push we might push Smolders away a little bit if we say how horrible. But, bro, that is low-key fascism. It's true. Yeah, I feel like this is asking if we want to get closer to him or not, and I kind of don't. So I want to continue our tactic of pushing literally all of the guys away, and let's just go with how horrible. Biostat says no. I hope that wasn't a no in response to the choice I just made. Okay. That's horrible. That's the burden of being a ruler. You may think it horrible, but it's a choice he has to make. It might not be easy, but it's for the greater good. Yeah, definitely fascism. That's a convenient excuse. I've never had to run a kingdom, obviously, but most issues can be solved with diplomacy. As in, do not get closer. Okay, good. Violence will only lead to grief and more violence. It's a vicious circle. Maybe there was a time when it was necessary, but these are peaceful days. Why cling to old methods? Brendito! Do you think there will be an option to kill him? I hope so, Brendito. Oh my gosh. Who designed the constantly swinging chandelier? Sia. I freaking love that song. Oh my gosh. Sia is truly like one of the most talented vocalists. Like, yeah. Yeah. You're asking me? I'm not but a simple warrior, a sword who follows the will of the crown. Yeah, that's why you murdered those people. If all things could be solved peacefully, that would be great, but not everyone thinks like you. And when you face those people who think differently, you must strike first or they will strike you down. Whoa, that like escalated really quick. Every time I see one of those, I always feel sorry for the person who has to get up on the ladder and light all the candles. Yeah. I like the sparkly text reveal effect. I do too, Decaf. And they also, there's a slight, I don't know if it's coming through on stream, but there's also a slight sound effect with it. And one of the reviews I read said that they found that sound effect really intrusive, and I actually haven't at all. I think it's been, like a lot of the sound design has been really great in terms of just providing a little bit more feedback and a little bit of detail and a little bit of ambiance to the scene without necessarily getting in the way, which for me is kind of perfect sound design. It's tough in 2D to gain interest in text in some way that's new, yeah, for sure. It has a very good fairy tale vibe. And it's, oh no, you don't blue steel. NBA Dag, I'm not sure what that means. The most minor thing is always better than something big. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, for me, like the slight subtle effects as well in like lighting and little VFX particles coming up around fire, stuff like that. Like these little details, I think actually have done a really great job of adding just a bit of movement and polish to the background in a way that's been really good. So yeah, some of that has actually been really great. And the reveal speed of the text and the ability to click to reveal it all feels very seamless too, in a way where I don't ever feel like I'm stopping to wait on the text, and that's really nice. I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead. He wants to get to know us more. Yeah. Yeah, after series, the little details always did more than big things, like walk the imagination line. Yeah, exactly. It's such a, like, it's very easy, I think, to get into an uncanny valley of representation, where when you can keep things kind of symbolic and rely on imagination, you have a lot of power there. Or if you can convey everything in high fidelity graphics, like, that's great too. But there is kind of a point in the middle, which I feel like Neocab hit in not a great way sometimes, where like it's saying something but displaying something else with just enough fidelity that you're sort of like, wait, but you're saying this, but you're describing this other thing, and I'm seeing something on the screen that doesn't match that, and it's kind of like it sort of gets, yeah, uncanny valley, like it gets a little weird. Whereas this, I think, has done a great job of staying on the appropriate side of that like symbolic line. So like, even though we laugh about like dudes sliding into our DMs, like that is a gesture that symbolically communicated a lot, despite the fact that like, you know, it's just a graphic moving across the screen. And the cost goes up so much with real shadows and lighting. Yeah, it's really true. They always look for background relevant shadows. The cost of that versus soft shadow is ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, Kinetic would know all about it. So, yeah, I'm not trying to like out people, but boo 2D. Yeah. Okay. That's enough on such heavy subjects, though. I'd rather get to know you more, if you don't mind. Gross. Yeah, no, I'm with you, NBA Dog. You look like a girl from the town, but I haven't seen you around here before. I don't live in the town, actually. I live in a house ruled by Lady Carmosa. Oh, forgive me. I didn't realize you were nobility. Your clothes gave you the appearance of one of the townsfolk, just negging on in there. I didn't know you were incognito. It's not a disguise. This is what I wear every day. After my father passed away, Carmosa took over. She treats me as one of the servants, but without any pay. I don't even have money to spend on clothing. In Cinderella's case, sliding into your DMs is short for sliding into your domestic misery. Ooh, that's good, Jess. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's a shame your father chose Carmosa to take over the estate. He chose her? Isn't that what happened? Before he passed away, he should have left a will. The will would appoint the next head of the house. It's a shame he didn't choose you. I've never heard anything about his will. I don't think father would willingly put me in this situation. God forbid you're a servant too. I know. That doesn't sound right at all. If Lady Carmosa wasn't appointed, she's breaking the law. Oh, dude's gonna murder her though, maybe. I didn't realize that. Something about this situation seems suspicious. I hope you get it all sorted out. I wish I could speak with you longer, but I must start my patrol. It was a pleasure talking with you. If you ever need anything, I'd be happy to help you. We don't need your help, Smolders. Thank you. I'll see you then. Take care of yourself. This is the first time I've heard of Father's will. I wonder why he never wrote one. Unless he did write one. In that case, what happened to it? I'll have to investigate as soon as I get the chance. Get some money off him for the fairies. Well, I'm sure Carmosa wouldn't do anything selfish or underhanded. She, you know, she is Carmosa. But I sort of suspect where this is going, because it's trying so hard to paint her with a more generous brush, that I sort of suspect what happened is father did have a will and left her in charge because she was good at running the house. The plot thickens, I know. Well, there's no point in sitting here in the tavern alone. I don't want to attract the wrong company. We were literally just talking to a murderer. Like, what else is there? Could very well be, yeah. It was nice to see Captain Smolders again. He's such an interesting man. His persona is so rough and intimidating, and he carries himself like a man who's seen war. But he's also so straightforward and honest, almost naive, like a child raised on tales of knighthood. I haven't gotten that literally at all. Like, at all. And this is kind of what I mean. Like, I mentioned on the last stream a couple of times that a lot of the writing in this so far has been a lot of tell rather than show. But while at first I was kind of put off by that, I kind of came around to it in the last episode because we sort of need it because the game seems to be drawing a very different conclusion from some of these conversations than I am as a player. And so it's really helpful to have the game tell me what I'm supposed to think after that, because I seem to not be aligning with those interpretations, like, at all. So, yeah, we'll see. Really, it was nice to get to know him a bit better. It's still pretty early. I think I should go and visit Tobias. Second choice. Who knows when we'll get another chance to talk after Carmosa comes back. Alright, so we're back in talking to our childhood friend Tobias, who also kind of negging us a bit last time we hung out. But we seem to kind of keep flirting with him somehow, so it comes off like it was written by someone who plays the edgelord rogue in D&D and kind of self-insert their character as the prince, hence all the belt. Yeah, that's a good point, friend detail. Hello there, Mr. Merchant. Hello, Cinders. What brings you by my humble establishment? Oh, I was just around town again and thought I'd be nice to drop by. No special reason. I see you're well enjoying your newly found freedom. Oh. I can't deny it. So, how was your day? I'm glad you've asked. Something strange happened that I need to talk about. That, or I'll start wondering if I dreamt it. Oh? Did you win the royal lottery? Just as improbable. I actually had a conversation with Gloria. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that it? The unreal thing was that you talked with your sister? I mean, he's not wrong, I guess. So I presume it was something more than a simple exchange of insults. To be honest, I'm not sure what it was myself, but it was very different. We were both speaking, and I think this time she was listening. She also said that I'm free to do what I wish today. Now that's just awkward. What? Would you like to get some herbs? I'm sure she must be ill. I'm serious, Tobias. It may seem like nothing to you, but believe me, those little things that are probably ordinary in normal families, they don't happen in our house. Maybe she sees and understands more than you like to give her credit for? With all the blindness that comes from her resentment towards you, she'd have to be a complete fool not to realize that she cannot control you indefinitely. It sounds manipulative and complex, so there's a large chance it's exactly what's made her, or Carmosa, give me a day off. There's also the slight chance of Gloria just trying to be nice to her sister for a change. Do you think that's even This guy's so sketch. Oi, boss, sir. You wouldn't happen to have a new task for your old mate now, would you? Oh, I'm so sorry for this accent. Just please ignore everything that's happening here. Gold has a habit of running from me pockets like cats in heat. And your last payment... Oh, bollocks. You. The pretty bird. Isn't this a friendly get-together? Like cats in heat. If I'm the bird, then what does that make you? You certainly have a way of appearing out of the blue anywhere I go. First in the woods, then in my own house. And now here. You must be the most popular person in the whole kingdom. In any case, you came just in time. In answer to my questions, in time to answer my questions and answer them fully. And candidly. Such terrible words come from that pretty mouth. Oh, gross. Gross. Frankly, Cinders, I'm curious as well. A bit uneasy, but mostly curious. Oh, it's all very simple, really. 2 days ago, you came to our home to talk to Carmosa, and now I want to know what it was about. Yeah, his name is literally Shady Character NBA Dag. Yes. But I've told you, it's nothing big, lassie. Rumors are me trade, so keep your petticoat on. So all that was, a little gossip for a little coin. If you mean the one about the royal ball, then some small news it is. I can only imagine what's going on in all the noble houses with unwed daughters right now. You're surprisingly bad at lying. Rumors worth as much as what people are willing to pay for it. And I'm sure it costed poor Carmosa dearly. Poor she may be, but she knows how to haggle that one. She has years of her own too, so she'd learn about the ball soon enough. Folks are buzzing like busy bees about nothing else. Which is exactly why you're so bad at lying. Why would Carmosa pay a man like you for secondhand news, which is no news at all, is beyond me. Actually, knowing she'd be interested in the first place. Say, you never told exactly how you met Lady Carmosa. Gossips me trade, and devil take me if I'm given anything for free, 'cause some lassie fanned her lashes. I will say, I appreciate about Shady Character here that he certainly feels like he has the most written voice out of any character. Kinetic, no. We're not doing terrible puns in the chat. No. That's all a trade secret. Am I right, boss sir? She does. I mean, you might not be. All right, Kinetic. She does have a point here, and her question certainly piqued my curiosity. I reckon the little bird picked something up all right. Tell her. Nasty business, mates. Nasty ambush. Methinks I'll just run for the door now and call it a day. It's been swell talking. Not a step. As a law-abiding subject of our prince, I'm obliged to report any crime or mischief I know of to the captain and his guards. Alright. Well, this could get interesting, actually, if Tobias and the captain, like, team up. We could get some interesting drama going here. I'm sure Smolders would love to get something solid on you, but suspicious behavior and conspiracy will have to do. I'm sure it's enough for a lovely night in the dungeon. But, so this is so sketch, right? Because he's, like, threatening this guy, but he was totally in on the thing. Like, are we about to call him out on that? I can't believe you'd snitch on your old mate, boss, sir. It's business, nothing personal, friend. Like, are we just not gonna call that out? Apparently not. Bloody hell, some demon speaks through those rose lips. You must take me for a complete fool if you think I'll let her go alone with you so you can flee. It's all right, Tobias. He won't run, will you, boss? He knows that would force me to inform the captain, who I saw just a moment ago, right outside the store. Yes, missy. Anything you say. Very well. See, in all of this, though, I feel like if I were writing this, I think I would have done, like, a little bit of an edit pass for ship content, because, like, that whole scene feels like it should have been, like, some interesting power dynamics shifting around the room, and particularly, like, with us having leverage on this guy to be able to turn him in. Did you discover if this was translated or native English? I believe this was native. Because, yeah, it does almost feel translated, doesn't it, Connecticut? Like, it's got, like, first of all, it's just very wordy, but also the kind of lack of character voice did make me wonder. Though I'd be happy for you to look it up, because I did look that up a few weeks ago, so I might be misremembering. But, yeah, would you like to step outside and tell me everything, my friend? Yes, missy, lead on. Brendito says, looking now. Thanks, Brendito. You're awesome. Are you sure about the Cinders? Don't worry, we're all friends here, after all. Eastern Europe sounding names. Yes, so it was developed in Eastern Europe. So it is possible that even if it was done in English natively, like, I don't believe the studio is in English, like a natively English-speaking country, potentially. I feel like you maybe saw this at DevGam. Possibly. This game came out in 2012, so it's been out for quite a while. But it did get a port, like, just a couple years ago, I think. Alright, let's stop here and talk. Not exactly a hiding place in the middle of town. I do kind of appreciate that. Like, I appreciate moments, Polish, yeah. I appreciate moments where the where the writing is calling out things that sort of seem to come from, like, a lack of, you know, budget, or just kind of, like, needing to reuse assets or whatever. This is all kind of a bit murky. Is the idea that this guy came looking for work from Tobias and we roped him into giving us some gossip? Yes, so I think what happened is so we caught him trying to talk to our mother, and he lied about it. And he came to talk to Tobias, and we questioned him about it in front of Tobias, and so now we're trying to get out of him what he was doing at our house. And he says he was giving information, and so now we're trying to get that information. Yeah, okay, gotcha, yeah. I'm not going to give you a chance to escape now, and don't try anything stupid. The captain's right on the other side of the street. Fine, you little devil. I'll tell you what I know. Just don't yell if I can't remember the details. I have a short memory. You've heard my question already. What was the message you brought to Carmosa? A dashing young gentleman like yourself should have no trouble recalling the last few days. What was that? That was a weird line. Blazing hell, lassie, you and your adder's tongue. I remember. So I was out in the woods, resting me head on the ground, enjoying the peace and quiet that only nature can bring. Calm shimmer of the lake, away from the wickedness. Don't digress. Of the city, sleeping like a brat I was. Do you often sleep outdoors? Why were you sleeping by the lake? Wait, weren't we sleeping by the lake? Creepy. Now that's a mighty good question, isn't it, love? Can't say I know the answer, though. I just woke up there. Old and magic place. The pond in the woods. Me auntie used to tell me stories of... Get back to the topic, Lay. But I'm on it. I woke up and heard voices. Thought 'twas just like me auntie's stories. Of the fair folk, you know. Made of light and wisp, prettier than the finest ladies they are. But there were no wisps. And what happened then? I hid. What else? This head's still upon this neck 'cause it knows when it's time to jump into the bushes. You know what I mean. Who were those people? Ah, an excellent question, Bertie. Me gut tells me you'll love this. 'Twas the noble Captain Cinders, and he was talking to the prince. The prince was talking to Cinders in the woods? Seems a bit strange, doesn't it? What were they talking about? Oh, some posh problems of the rich folk. Too much free time's bad for the head. Our future His Royal Highness kept on whining about wenches of all things. How they're all empty-headed or boring to talk to. The prince was discussing women? That he was. Very unkingly of him, if you ask me, and foolish too. Who cares if the bird's dumb or dull? That's not what I want from me, wenches. Okay. You know, funny enough, I like this guy better than everybody else in terms of the men in this story, because he is at least, like, a character, one, straightforward, two, and actually, like, says what's on his mind. And so even though, like, he's completely not a viable romantic option, he exactly, NBA Dag, like, he has a personality, at least, where, and the other two, like, I know they're leaning really heavily into tropes, and he's also, like, leaning heavily into tropes, but they're at least tropes that, I don't know, feel like a character with, like, actual motivations. New headcanon. All right, let's hear it, Biostats. What's your new headcanon? What did the people speak of? The captain said something about rules, but I didn't hear that part. My head was still spinning and the water shimmering so loud. Don't know what they meant, but the prince was mighty happy and said something about the ball. The grand ball. He got some idea, the royally empty head of his. I heard it's 'cause of them crowns. Very bad for the head. Anyway, there was a new idea that he liked. Oh, I meant romancing him is on the table, but in our headcanon. Yes, it is on the table. I still think in my personal headcanon, I do feel like Sophia is still my favorite option out of everybody that we've had. The grand ball with the future queen is to be chosen by the prince. Yes, I know of it. What if he was the prince in disguise? That's kind of what I'm wondering too, NBA Dag. It would blow my mind a little bit. Brendito, yes, stepsister. Yeah, I'm serious. Like Sophia so far is the most likable character out of anybody. Tell me about the prince and his idea. Why was he so happy about it? It was about masks, making all the lassies wear them. You mean a masked ball? A masquerade? Oh, I didn't see Biostats, I'm sorry. What if he's the prince in disguise? Yeah. I didn't know the rich birds are so horrid. I don't think it's because of that. Did he say why masks are so important to him? It had something to do with the elders, the families, lots of lord and ladies waiting to trade their daughters, and only one prince. Too much competition's bad for business and tempers. So he's trying to dodge accusations of being biased. Clever. It would be a twist, but I feel like we might be giving them too much credit. Yeah, we'll see. So the complication is that I think he's been in a scene with the prince, like this scene that they're talking about here. I think we actually saw that scene, but it would be interesting. It actually, like, he kind of looks like the age our father might be, so like a super twist would be if our father's not actually dead and he's our father. But yeah. What if the bird's got a pimple right between her eyes? Won't notice nothing with masks and such, unless he wants to ogle their curves. Ooh, bit on the nasty side, nobles. My auntie told me stories, gossip really, about the shenanigans going on between them in the palace. Stuff that'd make a confessor blush. Alright, I get the picture. A masked ball, you say? It makes a lot of sense, actually. The prince can pretend he's choosing his bride by judging her more subtle qualities, and there's no way any of the house is accusing him of favoring one over the other. Who knows, maybe he isn't really pretending. Perhaps having a choice is really what he wants. Devilishly clever, love. Glad you got the smarts to see through all that. Saved me time having to explain it to ya. Ball for the noble birds, and they all have a chance, no matter how pimply or horrid. Made me think of Carmosa and her pretty lassies. No, not you. The other wenches. I mean sisters, your lovely sisters. Figured the old lady would pay a kingly coin for a rumor like that. That's all there is to it. You satisfied, love? My dear friend, this isn't even half the story I wanted to hear. You better get to the more juicy stuff right away. That's all there is to it. I swear on my auntie's pimples. Okay. So we want to get more information out of him. Presumably whatever was going on before all of this with the necklace. That's 3 pimple references. Come on, man. I know. My V8 tag. Yeah. Okay. So do we appeal to his morals? Do we focus on his connection with Carmosa? Or do we threaten him? I feel like appealing to his morals probably won't get very far. But I don't know. Maybe that's not based on anything real. His connection with Carmosa, I feel like might not actually be very deep. It seems like one of the better choice sets in the game. Yeah, it is actually. It certainly is a choice that feels more, at least I feel like I have reference for what kind of choice, like, this is set up. And, I have some idea as to some stakes. Like, whether we'll get information or not, for example. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't think threatening him is the way I want to go. Maybe focusing on the Carmosa connection? I'm not really sure, but I do feel like the Carmosa connection might not actually be very deep and really just might be business, as he's saying. But if it's not, that would be interesting to know. I don't know, like, chat, do you guys have any strong opinions on this? I'm kind of curious about him. Morals might lull him into thinking you're soft. Do you think that's a positive, Rendito? So later, bam, you didn't see this coming. That's interesting. Yeah. Knife to the face. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Yeah, let's do the morals. I'm kind of curious. He actually, I think it's trying to set him up as this, like, shady character, but I'm not sure that his morals actually are that impaired. This may seem like a whim to you, but it's not. I'm not the lassie you take me for, and I wouldn't be asking you all these questions if it wasn't necessary. Do I look like a spoiled brat to you? Do you think I don't know hardship? That I get what I want with no trouble? For Carmosa and my sisters, I'm no better than a servant. Every single day I'm reminded how little I'm worth and how disposable my life is. This is my only chance of proving them wrong. I must know. Lassie. Life ain't peachy for either of us, isn't it, love? And all we have is our smarts. But the old hag's a real demon. She'd claw me eyes out if she knew I told one little bird everything. You have nothing to fear from me. Carmosa will never know. Why would I want to tell her anything? I need to know how to break free from her clutches, and her secrets are her biggest weakness. I need your help. To be fair, Shady, might just be needs money. Yeah, and took whatever job he can. We don't know his story. It's true, Brendito. It's true. We got a trophy from that. Candle of Wisdom. Fine. There's one thing. A wee detail. Really nothing. Really nothing? I knew this rumor would be worth a lot for the lady, I know her and I know what she's like. So you did work for her before. What did you do? I might have given her a hand earlier. With the ball. So she could get in. How? The goose and her ducklings weren't exactly invited. The lady asked me to help them. Help them how? Oh, let's just say it required a bit of quality craftsmanship. Oh, that's cute. You mean you forged invitations for them? Me? Sure I didn't. Me talents knowing folks with talents of their own. Got them invitations from a friend. Reckon the old lady's a bit dim if she thought nobody'd notice she get in with fake papers. But hey, who is me, humble person, to doubt a noble lady and her ways of spending money? And that's how you learned how important the ball was for her. So when you heard about the masquerade, you told her about that as well. As you said, she could get in with fake papers, but she would risk getting recognized. Not so much if it's a masked ball, and that's why this information was worth so much. Aye, see? It's only a wee job, a nil. Only natural this bloke's forgot about it, huh? Yes, hi. Hi. We all want to say hi to you. Yeah, Farah wants to stream too. Hi, Farah. So this means she could actually be in deep trouble. Incredible. Carmosa ordered a forgery. This could be my chance. Boy, Lassie, you even listening? Can I go now? A man can handle only so many stressful events in one day, you realize. Ooh, there's a counterfeiter. Yes. Fake Will. Ooh, Brandito. That's a good point. This could be my leverage. What? Oh, yes, you can do what you wish. You already helped me a lot. Oh, Carmosa, your secrets really are your greatest weakness. Hey, what are you eating? Oh. Okay. I'm invested now, Brandito. You're in on it, huh? Can you imagine? And Carmosa withheld that minor detail from all of us. Who would have thought our friend was such an able business person? He sure gets around. Oh yes, let's concentrate on the aptitude of the unimportant guy. God, we're terrible people. Okay. The big problem and potential scandal is not going anywhere anyhow. I'm sorry, Cinders. It's just a big surprise for me, as well as information of some consequence. He is just a Bagamon, you see, and everyone recognizes him as one. And I've hired him numerous times, always for some minor and menial tasks, and yet here he is, a sparkling potential criminal mastermind. Who would have... Tobias, concentrate. What is the subject of this conversation? That's a great question. Oh, this is hard. Not him then? Very good. See, you can do it if you try hard enough. Jeez. We're really mean. Hey, no. What do you want to do with this newly acquired information? I have no idea yet. Do you think this could get Carmosa into prison? Is this what you want? Hold on. I'm gonna figure out what I was barking at. 1 second, chat. Yeah, are you doing okay? Yeah, you gotta be quiet. Okay, never mind. She seems to have calmed down. Reminds me of Fancy Man of Cornwall. What, is that a reference, Kinetic? I don't know. Any surprise Titan and Tobias have similar names. Futurama. Ah, I see. Yes, okay. Got me. I'm not sure yet, just weighing my options. Well, in that case, it definitely could be used against her. But would it suffice? I'm not so sure. Do you think I should try to get her arrested? For what? For sneaking into the ball? That seems aggressive. I don't know. I feel like this game, like, and I know it's a limitation a lot of times to need to write content and you're not necessarily sure of what the player might have seen. But it feels like this game is a little bit in tension with itself as to whether it wants to... It's fraud. Yeah, for sure. Crime is crime. Whether it wants to present the stepmother as, like, sympathetic or not. Send her to jail. Gosh, Brandito. And what I was about to say, pay someone to shank her in the shower. Good lord. Straight to jail. You guys are heartless. I feel like the thing is, like, trying to set up that she's, like, you know, this woman who's just like doing what she has to do. I'm not sure back in the day that was a thing. What, shanking in the shower? Yeah, I'm not sure either. Hey, no. yeah, it's setting us up to find some compassion for her. Yeah, but you guys are like heartless. You're just like, no. But I'm not sure. I feel like it's trying to make it complex. It's certainly not trying to make it all like peaches and roses. Like, she's still committing fraud, she's still treating us badly, she's still being really controlling. But like, yeah, it's definitely making it a little bit more complicated than just, you know, evil stepmother is evil. That actually sounds very wise and not entirely unhelpful. Thank you. I guess I'll go for a walk around the city and think about it. She might have even killed old Papa. Ooh, Brendito, that's a good point. We don't actually know. Like, so it has framed her as somebody who, this is her second marriage. Her first marriage did not work out and her husband died, and she's climbed social ranks with each marriage. So it's not off the table that she killed our father. Thank you, but I think I'll stick to your advice. Of course, I suppose you deserve some time to yourself to think and discover what you really want. I'm sorry, I did not want to intrude. She's a Black Widow. She could be. She absolutely could be. But also, she's really good with money. She's like, she's trying really hard to like keep the household together. You know, and she's supposed to be like a good businesswoman, is what they're saying. And she's really nice to Madame Guide as well. Well, if you need any support or just feel like chatting, you know where to find me. Thank you, Tobias. Okay, it's astonishing what a simple walk can do to one's spirits. If I'm going to miss the freedom to do something, then above all else, it's going to be the freedom to wander about whenever I please. When I walk with no specific goal, no destination, I can just switch off and observe my thoughts jumping to their little drawers with each step. And strolling through the market has its moments too. I saw the most gorgeous shoes. We did? I didn't see any shoes. Not that I can ever afford them. They were crazily expensive. I get that they were imported from the eastern lands, but at that price, they should be made of diamonds and dragon skin. Who buys something like that? I mean, I know I would if I could, but that's beside the point. Forget about it. No reason to dwell on such things. I still haven't decided what to do with my newly gained knowledge. Everything about this business screams that I should use it as leverage, but I don't know how. Not yet. At least it gives me some space, some secure distance from Carmosa, knowing that I know about one of her precious secrets. It's getting late. I should be heading home. Time to say goodbye to freedom. Hello there, Cinders. Oh, I didn't see you coming. Hello, Captain. So, how are you doing? You look a bit upset. Do I? Oh, no, quite the contrary. I just got back from a nice walk, cleared my mind of trouble. And what are you doing here, Captain? I was just about to begin my evening patrol. Feels like it's pushing you to use it as leverage ever so slightly. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I should use this as leverage. Yeah. Although this kind of weather, you could compare it to going for a walk. Ooh, we can go for a walk with Smolders, or we could go back home. What are we feeling like, chat? I want to continue pushing him away, frankly, but I'm open to counter suggestions. He is a, you know, as like the captain of the guard, he is a useful person to have on our side. But I don't like him. That's just me. Curious though what chat thinks. Burn him at the stake. That's not an option, Kineticorn. That's not an option. Oh, fraud is interesting. Sorry, Brendito. Go on a walk, subtly drop that she committed fraud. Alright, so we could, I wonder if the game thinks so too. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Alright, we'll go for the walk. Sounds lovely indeed. Would you mind if I accompanied you? I hope it isn't too dangerous. Dangerous? Hardly. I mean, he might be dangerous. I don't know. But are you sure? You said you just spent the afternoon walking about. The patrol route is quite long. Don't worry about me. I'm stronger than I look. Besides, this is my last day of freedom. I'd rather make it last as long as possible. See, this is actually information I wish they had given me before making the choice, because it's all stuff that feels like it's setting up we're gonna get home really late now, and like that's information I think as a player I would have liked to have before I made the choice. I probably still would have opted to go on the walk because Carmosa's not home, so we don't have anything like that we particularly need to be home for, but I do worry that we might be pushing Sophia away, and I really don't want to do that. So yeah, that's a little bit of our okay. The big red, Lady Carmosa is coming back home tomorrow. I see. Now I understand the long face. Very well then, you may come with me, but be warned, I will not change or shorten the route if you're tired. Oh, such a gentleman. It may not be the most demanding duty there is, but for a soldier, but it's duty still. Oh, don't worry, I can be very militant if there's a need for it. That's an interesting word. Some of my witty ripostes and well-aimed grimaces could be classified as weaponry. Ha! I had no idea you're such a menace. Militant is an interesting choice. Maybe meant tough. Yeah. Yeah, I think we were trying to like be flirty there, and there was like a little bit of banter, but it still was very, yeah, aggressive. I can only hope I won't end up arresting you for the possession of lethal irony. Oh, man. Jeez. Ooh, look at this pretty background. I like the night. That's really cool. I'm ashamed to say I've failed miserably at this attempt at being a guard. What do you mean? Is something wrong? My feet are killing me, and I thought I had a chance at this line of work. You've walked almost the whole route already, and it seemed a fine patrolling job to me. This town is safe, calm, nothing happened on your watch. Isn't that what matters? Wait. Did we actually just go on a patrol walk with him? like no additional like romance or banter happened, like literally just he's like very serious still. That's great. Does anything dangerous ever happen on these routes? Because if so, I must admit I'm disappointed with our walk and its unfulfilled potential for adventure. Patrolling the mean streets in silence. That's what we just did. We just silently walked. Well, no, it's almost always uneventful. Then I really feel like I've accomplished something today. But if these patrols don't change anything, why do you do them? I did not say they changed nothing, Cinders. Maybe it's because of them that the town is peaceful. Maybe something will happen and the town will need me to be here. Good point. Like that kidnapping the other day where you murdered those people. It was good you were around. Yes, but whatever happens or does not happen, these patrols are my duty, Cinders. Written generations ago to keep this town in order, so that is what I'll do. Does your duty make every choice for you? It even dictates how you spend your evenings. One might think you have no clue what to do when duties are done. Can't talk, might not hear the scum and villainy coming up from behind. Yes. I did make one choice, to become a guard. I do accept my duties. They're a consequence of who I am. You don't seem to accept the concept of duty in general, though. He's saying all of this, like, this is a very aggressive language with this, like, smirky smile. Also, I was not sure if I was crazy about, like, seeing the eyes slowly moving back and forth, but they totally are, and it's really kind of creepy. Yeah. It's fine. I can understand. From what you've told me about your house and its rules, you are bound to dislike your duties. We can quote Van Halen's Mean Streets. At night I walk this stinking street past the crazies on my block. Yep. It might only be aggressive because of the voice you gave him. Okay, fair enough, Brandito, but listen. Like, he's getting more and more scowly as we go. Like, this is definitely a scowlier face than the one he was just making. Because he's all like, it's fine. Isn't that almost by definition? Duty is something you have to do, not want to do, not chosen. How can you like an obligation like that? That's how it is for you, as Carmosa took over your house and life. For me, it's different. I've chosen and accepted my duties. or maybe chosen to accept them. I see the purpose of my duties and glad I can contribute to it. If I have a pleasant walk every evening as a means to uphold order in this town, is that really that bad? When it pours, it snows, the pleasure must be doubled. I don't know what that means. Okay. Ha, okay, you've got me there. But the town does look better when all the dirt and these clashing colors are covered by snow, or at least smudged by the rain in your eyes. Def got a hero complex, yep. So you honestly like protecting this sleepy, dirty town? I distinctly remember you saying that you missed the past, the times of battles. Where do your patrols fit into that? I do whatever is necessary. Ugh. If times demand I walk the town, that is what I'll do. But yes, I do prefer the thrill of battle and times when heroism had its use. Man, does everyone in this town hate the people in it? Yeah, I can't tell NBA Dag if they hate the people or the architecture, but yes. It seems like every individual person we've met so far is actually pretty, like, except for this guy, is like nice enough. Like, nobody's terrible, but yeah, everybody hates everybody in this town. It's really true. I can't figure you out, Captain. One minute you stop to show me a magnificent view of the evening mist over the lake that unfolds from the palace stairs. Then a minute later you admit killing is more preferable to you than such an evening stroll. Damn. See, I feel like my voice is not that ridiculous now, given this. Oh shit, I just noticed the time. Gotta be up for work in 4 hours. Better try to get on a nap. Catch you again soon. Thank you so much for joining, Brendito. And yeah, I know it's super late there. I thought you were actually like already up or something. So, awesome having you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do prefer battle, but I certainly did not say I preferred it over this evening stroll in particular. Thank you. So you're a warrior or a poet? Or a killer poet? Oh, I would be an awful poet, I assure you. In fact, you may be right. My poetry would probably kill. Oh, Brendito, thank you so much for subscribing. It's really wonderful to have you. So you're not even gonna try? Come on. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ugh, if you break the law, then I'll kill you. Alright, this game just went up like 3 tiers in my mind. That was amazing. Alright, that was very charming writing. That's good. As you can see, not a poet. Why do you think killing people and poetry exclude each other? That's a child's way of thinking. I've seen cruel crooks that write delicate poetry, and not all warriors are mindless brutes. Did he just call us childish? You're right, I'm sorry. Did we just apologize to him? What is this dynamic? I do not like this guy, and I definitely don't like Cinders around this guy. Like, so this is another angle we haven't considered for our headcanon. So, like, we've very much been approaching this as ourselves and not as Cinders. And so, if I were playing this more in a way that is like, how do I make Cinders become the person I want her to be? I hate the dynamic between her and this guy, like, a lot. I kind of want to kill him. And I don't love Tobias as a character, but I at least like that whenever we're around Tobias, we become, like, I don't know, I guess more, like, aggressive. Again, not, like, a character I would choose to become, but given the option between the two of, like, us being, like, a little bit mean and needly versus us being sort of, like, wafy and apologizing for being childish, militant, there it is, kinetic. Yeah, I don't think I like the dynamic with this guy. Just gonna say it. I can see the value of freedom, but the notion of having a purpose is what works for me and makes me happy. It's nice to see someone content with where they are and what they do. Maybe the fact that I enjoy breaking the rules is caused by the fact that I myself am not. Ah, but I broke a rule by inviting you to go on patrol with me, and I did enjoy it very much. I'm glad. And if I offended you by questioning your way of life, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude or nosy. By no means. There are not many people I can talk to about such things. And how can you think things through if you don't let them be questioned? So thank you. I was a bit skeptical. That was actually a nice little pause on skeptical beforehand about patrolling together. Now I regret we can't do that more often. Okay, chats. I need you to make this decision for me. So we have 3 ways we can respond, and I really like that on this choice, it's giving us not the actual written responses, but the sort of adjective that's going to describe our response, because I am not sure I would have correctly read the meaning into a line if it had given us that. And I feel like this is the real opt-in point. Double interpretation is hard, yeah, for sure. So I feel like this is the real opt-in point for romance with this guy. And I don't want to choose the romantic option. I'm just going to throw that out there, unless, chat, you really are interested in that. But what I do like is that the game gave us the double opt-in. So when authoring romantic consent in games, I actually really like when a game does a thing where it sort of sets up, hey, we're gonna put you in a romantic situation, is that cool? And you have like the yes or no turn down point. And then to opt into something romantic, the game asks you again, like, are you sure that romance is the route you want to go? And I feel this feels like the second opt-in. So like the going on a walk was the first opt-in, and this one is the second. I really like that the game set it up that way. Even Batman got a double check. Yeah, Batman, and I mean, like, to be fair, like Telltale Batman was like highly lauded as doing romantic consent really well in a game. Like it, you know, and it's not a surprise that, you know, some of those writers and designers and creative leads on particularly the episode where you have the chance to romance Catwoman, like those are some really fantastic creatives. So yeah, like it very well deserved had that praise as well. Okay, so I'd go friendly over uninterested after he saved. You like him. All right, so I'm gonna say that I would go with the uninterested and Kinetic saying friendly. So I need one more person in chat to break our tie, or for Kinetic to like use some points or whatever, and I'll go with his if he does that. But failing that, one more person in chat breaking the tie would be great. Because I really, like, this game seems to also, so far, have gone, like, it's like, it seems to take a slight choice and, like, really blow it up. So I'm really worried that even friendly is gonna, like, set us up to have a relationship. Mostly going by his looks, so it's better for me to decide. I think uninterested is a way to avoid giving the wrong impression, so that's my vote. Okay, I'm gonna go with you, NBA Dag, for the double. Going mostly by his looks, so it's better for me to decide. So, and you can't, this face, they're like specifically throwing in, I think, because every other drawing of his face, he looks like a psychopath. Don't want to lead anybody on. I'm the same way, NBA Dag. Yeah. I suppose you're right. The chance of Carmosa approving of my late night stroll in the future are smaller than the likelihood of the skies coming crashing down. I guess we might not get a chance to talk again in the foreseeable future. It's a shame, really. I like to be clear, go with murder face up front. So, like, this is his face most of the time. He's just, like, hardcore murder face. And then it seems like the game is doing, like, the, you know, the vampire lover thing with him and sort of being like, oh, we're gonna make him a total sociopath, but then occasionally he's nice, so therefore you're special. On a different note, I've noticed something today. When you and Madame Guide spoke earlier, you seemed quite familiar with each other. Oh, are we about to get some backstory on that? Great moves. Kinetic. I owe her my life. Such an experience does bring people closer and creates a bond. Maybe for life, even. Really? What happened? Ooh, we're just getting all up in his business. Sounds like there's an interesting story behind it. I was just doing my duty. I led a small group against brigands terrorizing the forest. Got separated while chasing their escaping leader. I got him eventually, but he managed to wound me. I lost consciousness there, in the middle of nowhere. Madame Guide was out searching for herbs when she found me. One solid move is turning him away. You're in friend zone. And got all the goss, exactly. You could have bled to death. Yes, but Madame Guide took me to her hideout and nursed me back to health, and I'll always be grateful for that. Sounds almost like a fairy tale. All that's missing is a romance, and they lived happily ever after ending. Well, at least part of that did happen, but it was no fairy tale. Okay, so he and Madame Guide did used to hook up. So we did not live happily ever after. There was a real story of bloodstains and pain, and... Wait, you actually were with Madame Guide, the wise and mysterious one, romantically involved with the ominous witch of the woods? Oh, hey now, I know. NBA tag. I'm sorry if I've spoiled the story and the characters for you, but I'm not a dark and brooding knight. Madame Guide is not an unearthly being. We're just human. I know, I'm sorry for stereotyping. I'm not sorry for stereotyping, not even a little. It's just so hard to imagine Madame Guide in love. I don't think it was love. We were both lonely and fate brought us together. Companionship might be a better word for it. I'm sorry if that offends you. No, I guess I've never thought about Madame Guide as someone that could be lonely, or with any other human weakness for that matter. She appears to be so strong. She is strong, and a good woman, so it'd be a shame to see prejudice win and drive her away from yet another town. But what you say surprises me, really. Seeing just one side of her seems unfair as well. Plus, the two of you seem so alike in so many ways. See, told you he's Paul Atreides. Because you can never miss while comparing a woman to your former lover. Ooh, this gets spicy. Yeah, we chose the right answer here for sure. I'm really glad to get the spicy deets, and I feel like we might not have gotten them if we were trying to get a romantic option, so. Don't mention it. I actually do admire Madame Guide quite a bit, and now I guess I can see her in a different light. Both of you. A bit less mystery, a bit more reality. Oh, sorry, I hit the scroll bar. Bit less mystery, a bit more reality. That's just the way it is, I'm sorry. You're right, and I'm the one who's sorry. I did not mean to offend you. You didn't. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go to the palace. Reporting duties call. Thank you for accompanying me. You're one of the most interesting and beautiful girls I've ever met. Can we see each other and talk? How should I reply to can we see each other again? Yeah, I kind of want to go with not really. I don't know. I don't want to cut off content, but, well, okay. So I think we should say sure for the same reason we went on the walk in the first place. Wish I had a tally of how many times they said they were sorry. We could turn it into a drinking game, NBA Dag. You're not wrong. Like, yeah, it's quite a lot. So I'm leaning toward we say sure we can see him again, not because we actually want to, but if we do have a situation, sure is reasonable here, a third chance. Thank you. I've enjoyed this walk immensely too. I'll try to arrange it so we can meet again, as difficult as it may prove. Oh, I believe you can accomplish anything you want to. Thanks for the confidence. I look forward to meeting you again then. I really need to go. Goodbye, Cinders. Have a nice night. You too, Captain. Alright, back to our house. Back to the same old. Feels like coming back to a prison. Yep. Out of my own will. After 2 wonderful days of freedom, it's depressing to know I need to go back to my ordinary life. There, I'm out in the real world. I can meet amazing people, have actual friends. Here, I'm trapped between Carmosa's plots, her poor daughter's bitterness. Sometimes I wonder, what if I were to vanish into the woods? Would anybody notice or care? Jeez, that got dark. Maybe that's the answer. Getting lost in the wilderness, befriending an uncivilized but noble tribe of rather short miners. I was like, where's that going? Oh, okay, yeah, Snow White. She's waving through a window. No, kinetic. I've had that song in my head seriously all day. And I had like just gotten it out of my head long enough to have a stream. And yes, all day. and I had gotten it out of my head just long enough to have a stream. I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna get a little bit of, the dudes are kinetic. You're about to be fired. Yes, okay. So the Dear Evan Hansen soundtrack is like deeply stuck in my head. It's fine. All right, so yeah, cute little Snow White joke there. Spending the rest of the days being adored, praised, and oh, get a grip on yourself, Cinders. At least I learned some really interesting things today. And the game's gonna go ahead and recap them for us, which is useful. Interesting and possibly dangerous for Carmosa. Maybe it's going to be my wild card in this game. Some of the meta writing, like the Snow White thing, has felt a little bit cringe, but maybe it's gonna be my wild card in this game. Actually was like a just settle enough to fly under the radar meta comment that I am actually really for it. Sometimes I wonder if all the families are like mine, broken, conflicted, utterly unpresent, or if it's just a nobility thing. My feet are begging for mercy. I must have walked a dozen miles today. Those are really good shoes I saw at the market, and pretty too. I wish we'd gotten to see the shoes. They keep talking about them, I'm not gonna lie. I sure could use new shoes like that. These old horrors are just a few steps from falling apart. They blister my heels and ankles. Still, it was worth the effort. Good captain, bless his honorable heart. Ooh, seems genuinely interested in my humble person. I don't know, being from the South, when you say bless somebody, bless their heart, and when you're throwing in additional adjectives, bless his honorable heart, that's like really insulting. He seems like an interesting gentleman too. Looks really dashing in all those belts. Hi. No, I'm not gonna pay attention to you. Okay. Besides, I always fancied scars and brooding disposition in a man. Oh yeah, that's some heavy shade. Yeah. Meanwhile, at the palace. You've summoned me, my prince? That I did. You came back a little late tonight? Question mark? See, I'll ship these two. These two can get together. That's totally good. Was there any trouble on your route? Not at all, my prince. Something has caught my attention. You must be wondering why I wanted to see you at this hour. Surely you've guessed it must be about something important. I'll have to ask you to make an important decision, and I will not be expecting you to give me an answer right away. My lord? Let me explain, Smulders. As you know, we live in a time of transition, and my father's death has changed many things. Being so close to our family, you are aware that the old king spent most of his days trying to compromise between extremes, a balance between order and freedom. With little success. Despite his best wishes, all his life he remained an autocrat. And that is why it has been my wish, my vision, to change the kingdom in such a way as to eliminate the need to compromise between freedom and order altogether. In other words, Smulders, I want reforms, but I'm sure you know this. Are we about to get into, like, the political... Like, I'm really not sure where this scene is going in terms of, like, what it's adding to the story. I do, my prince. I've known you long enough to be able to learn about the qualities of your character. I want to give the people a constitution. Hey. Off. Okay. I don't want them to be subjects. I want them to be citizens. Oh, yeah, okay. So he's just like, what if I just, like, dissolve the monarchy real quick? Alright, that's going in a direction I was not expecting. This will not make you more popular among the nobles. That is probably true. If that's even possible. You're not a king yet, my lord, and there's some unrest among the nobles. I wouldn't announce your plans just yet. They make you an easy target. Yes, they do. That's exactly why I need your protection. You already have it. You know I'd give my life serving the crown. I am your sword and shield, my lord. Yes, my friend. I know that. These are different kind of enemies, and I'm going to face during my reign. I'll be giving people more freedom, but that means taking away some of that old precious order. The nobles won't stand for it. They'll want my head. They wouldn't dare. Of course not. That would give me a reason to ask for their heads. They'll not do anything openly. Do you understand now what I speak of? So you want me to spy for you? It is a new battlefield, Captain, the theater of war of our times, and the crown needs you to be our champion. Champion? But it isn't an honorable war, it's a war of lies. War of lies. It is a war of discretion and intelligence, qualities I know you possess in abundance, not to mention loyalty. Yeah, I want to ship these two, and I want the game to be giving me a little bit more to like hang my ship hooks on. Like I want just like a little bit more. Like they could be having this whole conversation while he's like attending to his bath or something. I'm just saying, they could have done that. Forgive me, my lord. I don't want to come across as naive. I'm simply not accustomed to all the subtleties of ruling. I'm surprised. What would you require of me in this new role? You would have to spend more time at court, that much is certain. Keep your eyes and ears open, and of course, socialize much more. You'd have to trade those blades of yours for exquisite white gold cutlery, I'm afraid. And maybe do something about this outfit. All of those belts. NBA tag. See, like, we're getting there. Like, I'm gonna need you to take off some belts. That's like a good direction for these two, I think. I see. It's not exactly... This isn't... You don't have to decide right away. Shh, shh, shh. Also, you do have a choice. I'm not a tyrant, after all. Should you choose to distance yourself from this lovely mess I'm planning for the realm, you can leave your current service with honor and retire. Your patrolling duty is purely ceremonial nowadays. He's basically like, yeah, the stuff you're doing anyway, not important. The guards have their officers, as it is your position at the court is a matter of empty traditionalism. Damn! The prince is just like cutting him down. You'd send me away? Oh, I'm certain there's picturesque and lucrative strip of royal land left that I can give you to make you a count of. How about Middle Hollow? Such a quaint little place. This is very surprising. It's strange. It's a strange thing to learn that you are not needed. Oh, look at his sad little face. And the prince is very, like, serious. Man, I did not see a "you're fired" conversation coming. Well, NBA Dog, he's not quite fired yet. You know, if he's willing to, like, do a little bit of underhanded work for the prince, he can keep his job. He just, you know, his current position is no longer needed. So, yeah. Definitely going in interesting direction. The crown needs you. I need you. That's precisely why I'm asking you to make your own decision. I mean, so the emperor asks for an impossible task. How will he respond? If I am to rule, I have to learn to make difficult choices, and this is my first. I'm not ordering you to become the new royal master spy. I am giving you a choice. Oh, I know, but look at his face. Buckles is pretty hurt. He is. He's pretty dejected. He's pretty sad about it. Yeah, and we'll see where it ends up. Not only because I know that you wouldn't make a good agent serving me against your will, but also because you're my friend. If that's the case, I'd reckon you'd prefer to be just a subject. It will be enough, Captain. Let us not say things we will regret later. Like, this scene's a little shippy. Like, I'll you know, it's got enough for me, I'm saying. Very well, my lord. Will this be all, my prince? Yes, Captain. Give my proposal some thought. I would have your answer within the next few days. Now go. Dang. Buckles. Or do you need a special invitation to get out of bed? Get up, get up. Yawn. What time is it? Dawn already. And you need to get up right this instant. Dawn is not a reason to yell at someone. And I'm not sure it's reason to get up so abruptly either. 2 days without supervision and you've gotten lazy already. Where would you be on your own, I wonder? Oh yes, do come in and spill your venom on me. Is there any actual reason for me to wake up at this hour, or is this just a social call? Fine. Don't get out of bed and see how it works for you. What do I care? This way it'll be even more interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. And awake now. Would you please tell me what's going on? Carmosa's back. She wants us to gather in the hall. I'm wide awake and up now. You could have begun with that. Well, now you know. She brought a large package with her, and she looks like she means business, so hurry up. She always looks like she means business. I wonder what's in the package, though. What shape was it? Did it? Oh, stop being nosy and hurry up. We'll both be in trouble. Like the little details of how the text draws is actually really good. Like that one going really fast. If you were getting dressed, instead of asking dumb questions, you'd already be seeing it for yourself. If you didn't stand there, yell at me and stare, I would actually be in a position to get dressed. All right, a little bit of like, oh, can't get out of bed and reveal myself to you. I'm digging it. Okay, fine, I'm leaving. Just hurry up. I'm really sorry. I got as fast as. Wait, where's Carmosa? In her study. She said she didn't have time to wait for you forever, and you kept her waiting for quite some time. Oh no, we wouldn't want Carmosa's magnificent plan to be foiled just because of Cinders' laziness, would we? You might rethink your attitude. Mother wants to speak with you. I can't imagine how that is going to be a pleasant experience, considering. She said she wants to speak to me? Why? Well, actually, she wants to speak to each of us. You're just supposed to go first. Great. When I finally got to be the first at something, it's something I don't want. It's like receiving gifts, good in principle, yet always disappointing in reality. Why would she want to speak to each of us, and why separately? I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, me too, Cinders. Oh, stop complaining, you two. And you should hurry up and go, Sophia, unless you feel the need to make Mother angrier, of course. Sigh. I'm going. I certainly don't like this. Carmosa seems keen on interrogating us and getting every detail of what happened while she was gone. If you did what you were supposed to, you wouldn't need to be nervous right now. Just a thought. Of course, because everything is fair and honest around here, and I certainly won't get blamed for things I have no control over. I think you do enough on your own and not need any additional blame. Your constant rebelling could get most of Carmosa's attention. Okay, so we're arguing with the sister again. Like, in these scenes, particularly in the scenes with the sisters, I really am feeling the lack of choices. And I don't even necessarily need those choices to, like, be state-changing, because I recognize, like, this is a game on a limited budget, but I think it could be doing a lot more toward, like, me as a player being able to, like, build a roleplay sense of how I want, you know, these characters and the subtleties of the relationships to go. Because, like, I don't know, it feels like the game wants to be offering me, like, genuinely wants to be offering me the ability to bond with my sisters, but I don't feel like the amount of agency I have as a player is actually giving me enough room to, like, even build a headcanon that's happening. It's like, I want that to be happening, but it's like not really letting me get there. You're not seriously suggesting I would tell on you, are you? I'm trying so hard to do well here and take care of you two. And Sophia, she wouldn't just stab you in the back like that for no reason, would she now? Well, I certainly do not feel as safe as you describe. Okay, so my sister might have an interesting idea of fun. I don't know, we've been getting along with Sophia. I don't think there's, like reason for that. Okay. True, but I think we did start some sort of connection, albeit weak. Weak? We've made every choice we could. Aw. I thought we were doing the thing. That's so sad. I did notice you two were on better terms. I must admit I was wondering what the change was about. I mean, we're on better terms too, though. Okay, you're fine. I'm not sure yet, but I certainly hope it's permanent, not some ploy to lower my awareness. I liked the feeling of having a sister. Aww. Oh, I'm so glad you say that, and I'm happy that you and Sophia get along. Actually, I'm happy she's getting along with anyone. Okay, they're trying to, like, make Gloria a little bit more human in this scene. I'm actually digging that. She's smiling, which she's, like, barely done this whole game. So, like, that's pretty exciting, too. Happy. You hardly ever talk to her yourself. Okay, up. And the fact that I don't have a good connection with her doesn't mean I don't care. I do wish for her to be happy. I'm glad she's finally able to make friends. I had no idea you cared so much. You're full of surprises. I don't think I need to explain myself. I was just asking, but fine. Let's just wait for Sophia to come out and see what she has to say. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the last, like, 4 lines didn't actually, like, have kind of relationship changing beat moments. So, you're back. That was fast. Aren't you happy to see me? I'm fine. Sorry to disappoint you girls. What was the talk about? You'll find out soon enough. It's your turn, and I wouldn't keep Mother waiting if I were you. All right, I'm off. Wish me luck. This actually is kind of a nice narrative framing to kind of like have a moment to talk with one sister and then have another moment to talk with another sister and then also set up going into the room and talking with her. Carmosa swoops down on you like a hawk and submits you to physical torture and tests your endurance. At one point, she took this long needle and... Lovely, thanks for that image. Sis! Oh, we called her Sis! Ah! You did get a little pale, but honestly, you'll be fine. So it wasn't that bad. Oh, don't get me wrong, it was no pleasure either. And Carmosa hatched a plan that will make me lose a lot of sleep till it's all over. This can't be good. I'm almost afraid to ask. Oh no. You need to be properly surprised when you hear it from Carmosa. That will prove I did not utter a word. Good for Sophia. I like her. Like, she's really grown on me. I mean, I liked her, you know, before, but like, she's like really growing on me, and I, like, yes, I'm feeling that, like, sister bond. But you don't need to worry too much. Only Gloria and I get to fail Carmosa and her ridiculously high expectations this time. As far as I know, you will not be involved. I never thought I'd be happy to hear that someone forgot about me. Then let me add to your joy. I forgot about you and your little escapades when I recounted to Carmosa what happened during her absence. You should be fine. I wonder what Gloria will tell. Aren't you worried? I'm not sure. She seemed alright when we talked, maybe a bit unsettled. I know my sister. She doesn't show emotion until Mother orders her to do it. But on the inside, she was raging. I think she might spill some of that into Mother's ears. Interesting. To hell with that. These past few days have reminded me what freedom felt like. It was worth whatever punishment Carmosa might throw at me. So it's interesting how much this game is bringing up things like freedom and choice and like the ability to choose things and duty as the ability to, or like the lack of choice in a thing. Like, yeah, it's like a game that's very aware of agency. And so it's also really strange to see a game that's so focused on choices and agency, like, not actually have that many. But, like, yeah, and again, like, I even think, like, the light agency version of this is not the worst thing in the world, except that the game keeps, like, reminding me how important agency and choice is. It's really more a visual novel than a game. Yeah, for sure. And it's a really good point, Kinetic, and it, like, definitely sets itself up that way as well. But, like, it also, sort of in the marketing copy and everything, is very, like, you can choose the direction for it to go. And, I mean, it also was kind of early in terms of visual novels that were popular, you know, in Western games. Yeah, I hate that places have to do that. Yes, I agree. But yeah, I feel like I would be completely fine with the amount of agency the game actually offers, except that the writing keeps telling me how important agency and choice is. Telling one story is hard, let alone 3 or 4. Yeah, for sure. What do you mean? Well, was it, I don't know, unpleasant? Of course not. Why would it be? It was just a normal conversation. Normal for you, perhaps. Oh, come on, Gloria. I can tell it wasn't that smooth. Stop being so nosy and start asking proper questions. Did Carmosa tell you about her plans? In fact, she did. Oh, of course she did. You earned that special little place on her lap. Ooh, the like, mischief music has started up. Sophia, please. Shush now, Cinders. So what did you think of Mother's latest great plot? You would think she had learned not to expect the impossible of us, or anything big, really. And maybe it's time to live up to her expectations? You're a grown-up now, Sophia. It's time for you to work on managing your responsibilities. You're hopeless and stupid. Some of us are simply not built for greatness. Oh, Sophia! I think within a known framework or IP, it's a mixed blessing too. You can subvert expectations around the known story, but also there are things in our head with the story we always wanted to do or say. Yeah, that's a really good point, Kinetic. I think that this story definitely does want to play on, like, some of those things. Like, you wish you could just tell off the stepsisters. And it's tough because I think as soon as you start suggesting to the players that they're going to have that ability, it's like as a player, you want to lean really heavily into that, right? So like um it's I think one of the things that frustrates me in this game sometimes is that it feels like it's just like barely dipping your toe into what it could be offering as a role play experience, right? Like where it's saying like you could have this rich and interesting and nuanced relationship with your stepsisters. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. Like that's a really cool game. But then when it comes down to it, there's not actually very many choice moments. And it's like I don't even need the choice moments to like be changing the state of the game and have them author additional content. I just as a player want to be given the opportunity to build in my head what that is. The studio's next story is an original. It's got mixed reviews of story, but better on choice. Oh, okay. This is one I saw with identical art style. Oh, interesting. So I think they literally took this feedback, made another game, and it might be an interesting comparison. That's a really interesting point, Kinetic. Yeah, I would be curious. I do feel like this game has really nailed a couple of things really well. Solstice is the game. Okay, yeah, that's really cool. I do feel like this game has nailed like a few things, and in terms of visual novels, you know, visual novels don't always have great writing. They're usually translations, so like it's not like comparing this game to, you know, the writing alone, not like the world building or any of that stuff, like the on-page lines between this game and something like, say, Had a Full Boyfriend, or like, you know, um it's not like that far off. But what it does feel like it's lacking are some of the tightness of like good writing, because it's like if you compare it to something like that, it holds up fine. But the second you start comparing it to like a Telltale game or like a Western visual novel style, like even like choices or episodes, those are written just so tightly. And I will say too, though, that in fairness, those games did come out like and come into their own sort of after this. So it's kind of like, you know, the form I think has also changed a lot in the last 10 years, and I think we have tended more recently toward a style where the player is making more choices. I really wonder, do we know anyone Polish who's played? I do not personally know anybody Polish who has played this game. The art style is super hard to get. They do an excellent job. Yeah, they really do. I think the art style is one of the absolute best things about this game. The art, and like I said, I think the sound is really, really well done. But it's just, you know, it's tough because they're I think especially today, they are sort of fighting against like the conventions of what this genre has become later. Gosh, yeah, the art for Solstice is beautiful too. Oh, cool. So yeah, maybe Solstice would be an interesting comparison to do after this game. I want to check out the How Long to Beat. If you look it up on How Long to Beat, does it say how long it is? Because it's also nice to know like roughly how many streams we'd be committing to as well. I'm too stupid to understand complex sentences, Sophia, no. Yeah, I remember that one well because they wanted to get it published. Is Solstice the one that you saw, Kinetic, at Dev Camp? Like, do you know these people? Now hurry, don't keep her waiting. Like, I don't know these devs at all. Do you know how angry she gets when someone's late? 4.5 hours, according to How Long to Beat. What does it say for main plus extras? Because since I'm slow with reading and talking to chat and stuff, it's usually closer to whatever main plus extras is. And I'm about to enter the beast lair. yeah, this art style, it's so good and really tapping into the sort of like Queen of Hearts, like evil. Okay, all styles says 5.5. Okay, cool. So probably like 2 streams. Yes, I did. Come in and close the door. I'd like you to explain something to me. I've just asked my daughters about what happened during my absence, and to my surprise, I've got 2 conflicting descriptions. Could you please explain to me how you did spend the last 2 days? I visited friends in town, did some things I planned to do. You could say I took 2 days off. So I've heard. I'm still wondering as to the nature of the liberties you took when I wasn't here to direct you. I certainly hope you did not do anything foolish. So this was super familiar to me, and it took a bit, but now I remember. I did a publisher dating cam where they do 15 devs pitching their games for 15 minutes. Oh, gotcha. Dating jam. Oh, okay, cool. And so, were they pitching you Solstice? However, one of my daughters assured me that you're much too level-headed to make a mistake like that. She did? Yes, I also thought it was unusual of her, so I'm letting this slip. But enough about this. This isn't the topic I wanted to speak to you about. Speed dating for games. Yeah, it was Solstice. His art style was so familiar. Yeah. It has to do with my plans for our family. 2 days from now, a grand ball will be taking place in the Royal Palace. Oh, you're in the industry, Kinetic. That is super cool. Yeah, Kinetic and I met in the industry, as a matter of fact, for way too long. Shout out to Kineticorn. If you're not following him at NBA Deck, he's not currently streaming, but when he does stream, he does really cool fruit, wine, and cider and beer making streams where where he like just hangs out and chats. It's basically like a just chatting stream, except he's like making beer while he does it and like talking through, or not beer, but like cider or fruit wine, and like talking through the like brewing process like while he goes. So it's super fun, really cool, really chill. Game dev professionally, but booze making for fun. Yeah. And so he doesn't really talk about game dev on his streams, which like I get. Like as devs, it's really hard actually to talk about our work because so much of it is like NDA'd, and it's hard to kind of like, and you have to be really diplomatic, and like it's just, it's complicated. So so that's why a lot of devs who stream don't really talk about our work. But talks about awesome brewing stuff, and sometimes has awesome guest stars, and it's a really fun stream, and I hope you do it again, Kinetic, because it's a lot of fun. So yeah, go give Kinetic a follow. He's awesome. And you want to wind down sometimes too, for sure. I've got too much fruit. Do ya? 2 days from now, a grand ball will be taking place at the Royal Palace. Any royal business, and very important, of course, but this particular ball will be very important even for His Royal Highness. Yeah, December, after my next big game announcement, I might stream again. Cool, that would be really fun. It means very careful preparations. The Royal Masquerade, I might have heard about it, yes. Oh, you have? This is very surprising indeed. Is it? Recently, I've learned that it isn't that difficult to obtain sensitive information. One simply has to pay attention to what is going on around them. Watch carefully who is meeting with whom. With guest star, of course. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, NBA Dog, like, quite a few people who come in and chat regularly are actually devs, or like folks that I've met through various dev stuff. Like Muck and Hoped, who was here last stream, is a cool person that I have worked with and I'm working with currently. And Brett Duville, who has been in, and Brett Duville also streams, and he is like very rad, talented dev who's like made a lot of really awesome stuff. He was at Bethesda for ages and at LucasArts before that. And so yeah, like a couple people who are like in chat often are like actually very accomplished devs who do really cool stuff. So really well done then. Perhaps you are not as thick as I thought. Happy to hang. NBA, you are amazing. I absolutely love your commentary. I'm so glad that you choose to come and hang out with us. I shipped Spogs Racing, the best game ever. Kinetic, can you like explain a little bit about Spogs Racing in the chat and what that game is? I want to stream this one day because so it's a pog. Like a pog, like a pog that you like, yeah, with a wheel around it. I want to play Spogs Racing. Like, I would really love to stream that with you. Like, I think that would be really fun. We were a launch title. It was so bad. Being well-informed surely keeps things in the dark. Folks say that truth shines the light and ignorance is the darkest night. It's a fitting comparison. After all, night is a time of fear, vulnerability, and powerlessness. Sports player object gyros. I did not know that it was an acronym. That's pretty great. Wait, is POG an acronym? Like actual POGs? Were they player object gyros? Oh, okay. I was like, you might have just blown my mind. Okay. What matters here is that the ball is very near and there's little time left. That means I'll be expecting our entire family, and I do mean all of us, to give their best. I mean, we couldn't infringe copyright. I see. It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen, but I'm not convinced it isn't a blast. A labor of love. Very well. And what is my part in this plan? Will I be going to the ball as well, member of our family that I am? Don't be absurd. Royal affairs aren't your arena. I see. Then what is my arena, ma'am? By the house, of course. If everything goes smoothly, the ball should mark the point of our family coming back into high society. And that means one thing. Guests. If anyone wants to know what games is like, I spent 2 years making that. Yeah. We will need combined effort to make the residence spotless, but your role in this will be crucial. I see, my lady. Would you like me to hide in the wardrobe or pretend I'm a statue when the guests come? Or maybe being a statue would pose too much competition for your charming and intelligent daughters. I understand your anger and your reasons. Now you must understand mine. I put much time and effort into creating this opportunity for my daughters. I will not let them be upstaged by anyone. You may play all sanctimonious with me now, but either now or in 10 years you'll understand my perspective, and you'll agree with my decision. Also, I don't see a single reason to yield to your complaints if all I get from you is recklessness and childish moods. Start supporting the family, and maybe the family would do the same for you. You like to refer to all of us as family, but only if it means I have to do something. Don't get melodramatic, girl. You sound like a bad novel. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to prepare 3 young ladies for the ball organized by the future king. Do you have any idea how much a decent dress costs these days? No, of course you don't. Should I mention I know about the money problem? Ooh, this is actually a good choice. Yeah. It is spicy, NBA tag. Okay, so pros and cons. If we do it, she might consider us more adults. But it entirely depends on how we bring it up, right? Because like, what I don't want is to say do it and then we get all like melodramatic and accuse her of mismanaging the money or whatever. But if we don't, like, we don't have the chance of upsetting her with that, but we also don't have the chance to potentially prove our maturity. Little spicy peppers. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like, I think I want to try it. Yeah, let's see. And when in need, even the most proud and snobbish get desperate, to trade away heirlooms. What are you saying, girl? That useless misfit couldn't keep his mouth shut, now could he? It's fairly easy to get information once you know it's there. It's just a matter of perseverance. Bold words from one so young. One could think great spy masters should begin asking you for counsel. Most fortunate for me to have such a treasure under my roof, and so humble too. But collecting rumors, even the juicy ones, isn't enough. Great spies need to know how to use them as leverage, do you? And what would you say if I told you that I'd found a way to solve our money problems? You had now. That's very improbable. Your touch with reality is laughable. Do you even know where the money I buy your food with comes from? Save your skepticism for later. What if I had found a way and you were making a huge mistake? Are you really willing to take a chance? Well, assuming you did indeed suddenly grow a backbone and realize how the real world works, assuming that I wouldn't keep you locked in your room to prevent you from repeating those charming escapades of yours, it would be very impressive to learn you thought about our problems and actually came up with a solution. Very impressive? This tells me nothing. I can easily imagine your favor coming and going with the wind. I want to know if solving your problems for you would make me your equal. You know how to be bold, girl. I'll give you that. But you still lack realism. Stop fantasizing. You're making... However, if you want to try something on your own, if you want to prove that you can be useful or even just fuel your ego, I won't stop you. Who knows, you might even learn something about life. These are dangerous wishes you're making, ma'am. Now, girl, you are much too smart to speak to me like this. By the heavens, I swear you were sent to make me suffer every time I compare you to your sisters. That's a weird thing to say. Enough of this idle chatter. We have a very important task ahead of us and little time left. Since you're thinking so highly of yourself and your skills, why don't you show us your pragmatic side and start cleaning the house and helping with preparations? That's it? Do you really believe that's all I can be good at? Demons, snap out of that constant daydreaming, girl, and start paying attention. Do you think that even if you were the lady of this house, you wouldn't need to keep it clean? Are you really selfish enough to believe that? Oh, sorry. Besides, the terrible burden of dusting and doing the dishes is minuscule in comparison with my responsibilities. Be grateful for having such a simple life. Oh yes, very great. Shush, not a word. Get the girls together and call the servants. Wait for me in the hall. I'll bring you your orders in a moment. So yeah, was it successful in making her a little bit more sympathetic? You know, I think that she's actually pretty well written as a character too. She has a bit more character voice than, for example, the sisters do. She, I think they are kind of doing a good job of writing her as very hard, but not necessarily evil. She does seem very dismissive and very cold, and, you know, she doesn't have a lot of love in her heart for us, but that's fine. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting, because, like, this is the first exchange where I feel like this game is actually trying to say that the Cinderella of the fairy tales and stuff is childish. Like, they've been kind of drawing Cinders as, like, childish and keep referring to her as a child and saying the things that she thinks are childish. But it's the first time it feels like the game is actually trying to draw for me, trying to draw a comparison to the fairy tale and sort of saying, like, the fairy tale might be childish too. Because, like, it is sort of this thing of maybe what we're seeing as evil is only actually evil because we have the expectation that she's going to be this, like, warm and comforting mother, and she's not. And that's okay because there's pragmatic reasons for it. It's kind of like what it feels like this game wants to be doing. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting scene. I liked a lot of what was going on there. Whoa, why are we floating? Oh no, we just stood up. Okay, we were sitting before. It was like the animation. It was like, it got witchy really fast. Okay. All right. Cinder says, I'm tired, but it's still better than washing all those dishes was. I hate doing dishes. It does feel like floating to me. She's been back for a little more than an hour, and here we are scrubbing the floor on all fours, cleaning the windows, polishing silverware twice, and dusting everything. Did I mention doing the dishes? You might have. I hate that. You know what I hate? I hate the fact that I'm up here while my dear, charming, and wise beyond her age wonder of a sister is upstairs, playing the little princess she will never be and trying on that ridiculous dress Carmosa bought her. First of all, you never saw that dress, and second, who knows, maybe the prince will fall in love with her and you'll end up being the queen's sister? I doubt that even that amount of noble blood can make a person dense enough to fall for Gloria. Although, maybe if she kept silent? You're terrible. Besides, for all we know, the prince could be denser than lead. Also, I didn't know you cared about balls and dresses. Compared to this, I think I prefer the Royal Circus. Ouch, yeah, right. Sophia, I need to thank you for putting in a word for me when you spoke with Carmosa. I appreciate it. Don't mention it, and don't overestimate my goodwill. I find myself just as surprised by my behavior as you are. I'm sure some dark power possessed you that brief moment you actually did something nice for another person. Anyway, I appreciate it. What are you two blabbering about this time? Wondering why the hall isn't sparkling yet? Well then stop talking and get to work. This place has to be worthy of the Emperor. You seem very confident that people will suddenly crave visits to our house, Mother, just because they met us at the ball? Will they be so taken by Gloria's charming sense of humor and my kind and sunny disposition? There goes my wonderful Sophia, always heavy as a storm cloud. Are you finished? Because there's work to be done. Also, frankly, dear, I had to stop paying attention to your theatrics a very long time ago. I'm sorry my acting isn't up to your standards, Mother. This ball is much more than a meeting. It is a chance for all of us to get a firm footing in this world, and heavens know we can use some of that. I've waited far too long and invested too much to let this chance slip. So stop whining and start being serious about it. Or do you want to end up with no money and just the clothes on your back like Cinders here? Don't get your hopes up too high. What did you say? Are you whispering in my presence? Nothing, Mother. Mother, where are you? I need you to see this. What is it again? There must have been a mistake, Mother. This dress isn't my size at all. It's too long. I'm sweeping the floors with my every move, and if I have to dance in it, I risk serious injury or worse. Wow, personally, I think you look very pretty, Gloria. Very pretty indeed. Have your fun at my expense. You love to see me like this, don't you? Yes? I think I'm beginning to like it too, although the floors are already swept, I'm afraid. What is this? Demons, the man is clearly an amateur. I gave that crook all the numbers and made sure he got them right several times. I'm sorry, Mother, I really can't go wearing this. She is very, busty. I'm not sure if that's, like, the thing, but... What are we going to do? No reason to lose your head, Gloria. Perhaps visiting a tailor without you was a mistake after all. But we can still salvage the situation. There's still time. We'll all go to the tailor tomorrow and make sure he gets it right this time. A trip to the tailor, how very entertaining. Stop whispering behind my back and try your dress on. We have to know if it fits. And you, Cinders, stop loitering and get back to cleaning. Just great. Cinders, do the cleaning while we try our new dresses on. Sure, why don't we all relax and enjoy ourselves while Cinders scrubs the floor and the walls. I can't believe I'm back to this again. Those past few days have been amazing. Now I know there's more to life than this, not only in fairy tales. I need to change something instead of just bending to Carmosa's will and going back to what is called normal around here. How can I just forget about freedom now? Because let's be honest, Carmosa won't ever release me. She doesn't even consider me in her plans. I'm no one to her. I need to clear my head and think. I can't even think clearly knowing Carmosa's in the house, plotting to get our lives arranged the way she likes it. I know. I'll go to Mother's grave. Madame Guide was right. I don't tend it the way I should, and there's no better place to get calm and ponder. Sneaking out should be easy enough. It was hard. It was a hard day for everyone, so the whole house should be fast asleep. Let's see. Okay, I hope we're about to get some fairy godmother. Hi, Mom. It's me. It was a while since my last visit. I'm sorry. I've had the most intense week. A bit crazy, actually. I feel like my head's so full with thoughts about what's been going on that it'll burst any second now. This is such a pretty scene. I really like this art style. I met your old friend, Guide. She told me quite a lot about you. I can't believe how different it was, you were, in comparison with what Father used to tell me. I'm sure you'd know what to do now. Guide said you were smart and strong. And so are you. It's in your blood. Not this again. Did I just fall asleep without noticing it? You're not dreaming. All right. If you're so helpful, why don't you show yourself? Show yourself. As you wish. Ooh, she's so pretty. Heavens. Who are you? I am the fairy of the lake, the one who is praised and fears by souls elated and those of broken spirit. The fairy! I'm not a cosplayer, but she seems like she would be so cool to cosplay. Like, I just love everything that's going on here. Like, it feels like it's got this beautiful Art Nouveau thing that I am absolutely loving. I'm loving all the swirls. I'm loving the jewels, the like glowy light effects. Like, it's Galadriel from the West. It totally is. She absolutely has like a super Galadriel vibe. I am digging it. I love this so much. Okay, new headcanon. We take off with the fairy. I'm in love with her. We take off with the fairy. Sophia can come if she wants. We curse the men and leave them behind. You did well. The sacrifice which your mother has made was not squandered. Oh, that's interesting. What sacrifice did our mother make? We are willing to uphold the Concord. You are free to ask for our aid. Forgive me, but I know nothing about any sacrifices or concords. Yes, you have lost the knowledge which your mother had. She was always so close to us, so mindful of our presence, our ways. She knew how to dance with us, how to sing for us. She knew about the way a concord is made. She also knew about the weight of the price, that it is never equal to the weight of aid. It grows with time, it blooms, and is reaped. She made her sacrifice to bind us and make us watch over you. We are here. We offer aid. What are you saying? That my mother somehow sacrificed herself? I really doubt that. You can play with your doubts as much as you please, as long as your belief in us remains unspoiled. I like her writing too. Like, she's very sort of ethereal and a little bit weird. I can't remember a single situation where a fairy helped me. I've never noticed anyone watching me. So much certainty unless you speak of memories. You are very young indeed. You believe in certainty where there is only faith. Your mother's faith made this meeting a reality. Her foresight made this an opportunity. She knew you would need us eventually. It is your blood. Soon you will be facing a grave choice. We are here. We are offering aid. How should I reply? I make my own fate, or I could use some help. So I think we should say we could use some help, because she's a fairy, but also she did just kind of come at us with like, there's always a price and the price grows, and like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. I guess I could use any help I can get. It's not often I meet someone willing to help me in the first place. Aid carries weight, heavy may be the price. It tends to flourish with time, like fate, it is a living thing. I understand. I think that sometimes we have to deal with the unknown and take the risk. If Mom was brave enough to take this plunge, I am too. NBA Daxis, I really, really like that she's just pragmatically saying that fairies will help, but not being specific about how or even whether it's for them to choose. Yeah, I like that too, and that seems to be a running theme as well. Like, there kind of was the thing earlier of like, we'll owe you a favor, but you don't get to say when. We'll just all kind of know when it's the right time. So yeah, definitely like a very interesting fairy economy set up in this. You spoke like your mother. Yes, your blood is one. You are forged like her. Soon you will need us. If you're indeed ready to carry the weight, we will make a concord with you. You will receive aid. It's good to know. I'm sick of having to do everything on my own. Even if it is better or safer, I still miss just being able to lean on someone or something else. Also, I'd be a fool not to take this opportunity, even if it does sound a bit dangerous. It sounds really dangerous. Like, this definitely sounds like a Rumpelstiltskin situation that we're getting ourselves into here, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Your path is unfolding. Soon you will have to act and make a choice. You will be guided by your blood and nature. When it will come to pass, we will be waiting for you. I still can't believe it, any of it. And yet your blood speaks otherwise. You are your mother's daughter. Your fate has brought you to the lake. And the lake is watching you. Ooh, creepy. Guided by blood and nature. Kinetic. Entering contracts with the Fae. What could possibly go wrong? Hi, Jeffrey Lindsay. Yeah, we're entering some heavy contracts here. Much like our last encounter with the fairies, there's a lot of like, we're gonna help you in the future, Not really sure what that's gonna look like. We don't really know what we're getting or what we're paying for this help. So, yeah, it's super interesting. What makes me so special? Special? What can be special for fate? No, you're simply a thread, and like all threads, you deem your own pattern special simply because it is yours. That is some good writing, actually. So far, we've had everybody keeps telling Cinders that she's childish and she's, idealistic for thinking, herself special. And this is the first time we actually have like a supernatural creature kind of coming to her, and she's expressing like she wants to be special, which actually has this very sort of like coming of age archetype feel to it, and like this otherworldly figure just saying like, no, you're still human, like you're not really special any more than anyone else is special, like you want to be special, which I don't know, that's actually pretty good. Like I appreciate that approach to it as opposed to like what we've seen so far from the game, where we keep having people just kind of like vaguely insulting Cinders for like wanting things. I guess it does make sense. Now go home and rest. The time of change is upon you, and you will need strength to carry its weight. It's because she knows about blood and nature kinetic. Don't be gross. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like imagery associated with women's coming of age stories. That is true. We will be ready. Wake up, Cinders. Does every day have to start with us waking you up personally? The writing is a little heavy-handed. I agree, Kinetic. So when I say like, oh, this part is a good writing, that is kind of to contrast it with some of the other stuff. And yes, there is not a bit of writing in this entire thing that has been subtle. Like, in fact, to the point where when we find a line that I'm like, oh, that's meta done in a way that's subtle enough to get away with, as opposed to all of the other meta that was so heavy-handed that it felt like it was like grabbing us by the shoulders and shaking us. So, yeah, they're leaning kind of heavily on the real life is nuanced and not like a fairy tale theme. But that was some of the best articulation of it so far. Yes, that is exactly what I'm trying to say, and NBA Dag has articulated it much better than I have. Really super want to ask a Polish translation. I just know how bad they get from our stories. Can you say what that means? I'm not sure. I just know how bad they get from our stories. Rise and shine, sis. What is it? Oh, is it morning already? Like, English to other languages is always rough. Someone had an eventful night. I've had the strangest dream. At least I think it was a dream. Or maybe there's no time to discuss dreams, Cinders. We're leaving. What time is it? So curious if a Polish person would find this more subtle. Okay. Time when only strumpets and their johns are up and about. Sophia, that was vile. That was the truth. It's barely sunrise. I should be fast asleep. Don't expect me to prance like some deranged pony just because there's some big ridiculous party coming up. Why do you have to get up then? What ridiculous? It's not ridiculous. I mean, there are preparations to be made, and we should be taking them seriously. We had to get up an hour ago. We need to get these dresses corrected, and who knows how much time that will take. Oh yes, the grand ball. Come on, we need to go. Now. Yes, I'm coming. Cinders will be gone for the rest of the day. The house will be left under your supervision. Do you think you can manage that? Don't be dense. Of course she can manage. There are more well-oiled cogs in that pretty head than yours and mine combined. Or maybe just yours. Now let's move. I can manage things for one day, don't worry. I have a feeling that's like the precursor to us not managing things for a day. Everybody's gone except me. Back to their important business, plots and grand balls. Why would they care about what I want? Just poor little Cinders, no one important. What should such a meek creature do but sit and whine and then comply? Well, not this time. Today is going to be different. It's the first day of the rest of my life, and it's high time to make some changes. I don't yet know how, but I'm going to that ball, and I'll make their jaws drop. And when I get back, everything is going to be different. I wonder if I could just make my life normal. Funny, this seems to be the hardest thing to achieve. Normal life, love, friendship, and respect from the family. I want to live like a free girl. I want to have adventures, like meeting the prince tomorrow. I'm going to work hard to get it. I will go to that ball and show Carmosa, Sophia, and Gloria what I'm worth. I need a plan, though. Or at least a dress, and a way to get into the ball. The rest I can just wing. Both Madame Guide and that creature from the lake offered to help me when I finally know what I want. I swear, it's like I have 2 fairy godmothers. Having help is a nice change, though. The sign the tables are already turning. So whose word should I trust? To whom would it be better to be indebted? Who's less likely to mess it up for me? Ooh, this is an interesting twist. We get to pick which one we want to be our fairy godmother. Okay, I did not see that coming. I actually thought that probably Madame Guide was like a fallback for if we didn't like do certain things to get the fairy. That felt like the Disney Princess I Want Something More song part. Yeah, it totally did. Though funny enough, that usually comes like at the beginning. And we're like quite far into the story. We're probably like 6 hours in. That was absolutely a burst into song moment, yes. Yeah, super interesting that we get to pick our fairy godmother. So I okay, let's talk this through. So I'm really curious about the story if we go with the fairy godmother, but I feel like that's also very typical and also like where the game probably expects us to go. I feel like Madame Guide, so she's already kind of talked about like wanting to leave. She hates everybody in town. I kind of feel like if we went the Madame Guide route, we might potentially get, I'm just guessing, I don't know. But I feel like we might potentially get like more deviation from the actual Cinderella story. And so like the counterplay player in me is kind of curious what that looks like. But I'm also really curious from a storytelling perspective of like what the super heavy price that the Fae want to extract looks like. Because both of those actually from a storytelling perspective sound like really interesting options. So I'm a little bit torn on this one. I'm kind of feeling Madame Guide's energy though of like, fuck this town, I'm out. Like that's kind of appealing to see if we could like play that direction. Like, I don't know, maybe she up and leaves and we can like try to go with her. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't think we're getting out of this story without going to a ball. So there's like, I'm like, oh, the affordances in this game have so far like not paid off on the kinds of things I felt like they were promising. But, yeah, I don't know. I also don't feel like Madame Guide could like actually procure a dress for us. But I also feel like she might do something else interesting that I'm not expecting. I don't know, chat, what are your thoughts? Which fairy godmother should we go with? Yeah, and like the Fae feels like it's gonna be like a lot more of kind of the standard like magical transformation into Cinderella kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, well, if nobody has strong opinions, then I might just go with Madame Guide and see what happens. Okay, NBA Dag says, I'm similarly torn, but I feel like you're right, that Madame Guide is the more subversive choice vis-a-vis the original story. Yes. Okay, well, that's what we went with. We'll see how it pays off for us. I also feel like it might not be as, like, hard of a choice as it is being presented here. But it's pretty cool as a choice. Oh, hello, sleepy girl. Hello. Okay, once you leave your happiness to fate, you become a slave of it. It can easily turn at any moment. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see this face. She's like giving me the saddest puppy eyes. Yeah, you want to say hello? Oh, now you don't have sad puppy eyes anymore. Okay. Yeah, let's go to town. See what we can do. Gede's ways may be morally gray and selfish, but she's at least straightforward about it. Life isn't always peachy. She knows what she wants and how to get it, which is more than I've done up till now. But let's not be too hasty. I just remembered what the captain said about Father's last will. If it really exists and I could find it, things could turn out quite interesting. And since Carmosa was so kind as to leave the house and her study unattended, oh, we could go search the house. Yeah, let's do it. This place is so creepy. It must be all the spite collected in the walls. Being here makes me uneasy. I feel like she's gonna jump out of the cupboard anytime. I wonder what would happen if she caught me. How far would she go? I don't know. Let's not stand around talking about it, though. Let's actually be, like, searching some cupboards. So far she's good with her scary words. Okay, thank you. You like the spite line, yeah. They were only words, nonetheless. All right, let's have a look around. This place looks like a cell in a monastery. There were many more items here when Father was still alive. Like his favorite globe that he used to teach geography with. There are many countries in this world, Cinders. Some are completely unlike ours. I remember how surprised I was when I learned there are lots of kings and queens and princes and dukes and castellans, I think. I used to fantasize about all those exotic archipelagos where people use magic to tame the ocean. Is that a true story or something he made up? Maybe a bit of both. But the globe's gone, and so are my fantasies. It's incredible how empty this room is. People define themselves through the objects that they surround themselves with. Carmosa is an empty shell. Nothing so far. Alright, there's her desk, the most obvious place, so I doubt she hid anything there. Papers, some old shopping list, more papers. Oh, a receipt for the ball dresses. She wasn't kidding, they were really expensive. I swear, any time now I'm gonna find Carmosa's secret plans for world domination. What's this? I give, devise, and bequeath all of my residue and my estate. Looks like I was wrong. I can't believe it. It's Father's last will. She really put that in her drawer. This is so awkward. Doesn't matter, let's have a look. I, the undersigned, declare, in the case of my death, my wife is to become... my wife. So Carmosa is the rightful owner of the house after all. Not good. But here's an interesting part. In case my wife is unable to perform her duties as the head of the house, all rights and residue are to pass unto my prime daughter. This is clear enough. In the case of Father's death, the house is to pass unto Carmosa, but should something happen to her, is this setting us up to murder her? It's not as good as I hope, but it can still turn out extremely useful. No need to linger. I'd better go before one of her servants sees me snooping here. Okay, yeah. How do we feel about murdering Carmosa? Oh, Jeffrey. Oh, it's okay. She's evil. Well, she's not evil, but she's mean. Are we the bad guy? There's still the counterfeit possibility. It's true, NBA Dag, but I feel like if she were going to counterfeit, like if she were going to forge it, you would have thought she would have not put that bit in about it passing to us. Because if she just left that out, presumably it would pass to her daughters, right? I don't want to say pro-murder, but certainly if the option presents itself. Okay, so we're not gonna like angle for murder, but if murder just like fell in our lap, that would be fine. I wonder if Madame Gede is at her store. I hope she isn't in trouble with the townsfolk again. That brazen simpleton. It's Carmosa, I better hide. Craftsman he calls himself, a man of trade. If it were up to me, he'd be out of business. Vulgar cretin. Need more time, my lady. Can't be done, my lady. Idiot. I need to find another tailor, a good one. How could he be so incompetent? He saw how important this is. He said he needed more time, but there's a whole night he could be spending working on those corrections. People are so brazen these days. Or maybe they just have private lives with normal families. What was that? Oh, I was just cursing at the state of modern society and how merchants, craftsmen, and all people of other sorts are just not what they used to be in the past. When they were all extremely skillful, cheap, humble, polite, dedicated to their work, and always eager to help a lady in need. I really hope that wasn't irony, girl. You know how I don't. I mean, sometimes you just feel so passionate, murder is the only option. I agree, Kinetic. If you really love someone, you murder them. Alright, so it's clear. It looks like they weren't that lucky with their dresses in the end. Never mind that. Need to go to Geeds. Hello? Are you here, Geet? I need your help. I've made up my mind. I know what I must do. Hello, Cinders. Please calm down. There's no need to hurry so much. I was expecting you anyway. So the good folk in town are right. You are clairvoyant. Oh yes, my third eye pierces through veils of secrets and lies with all the arcane blade of logic. Well, at least the townsfolk find it to be arcane. I know about the masquerade tomorrow, and I saw Carmosa scuttling through town. So what is it exactly you've made up your mind about? So you know that Carmosa wants her daughters to attend the grand ball. She wants the event to raise the family's status in society. Yes, I have gathered as much. She also wants me to stay at home. Says we all have a part to play, and mine is to clean the house for future distinguished guests. That is not surprising. She knows you'd upstage your sisters with little trouble. Maybe she does. It doesn't matter. I just need to go. I need to get to the palace. I'm sick and tired of having to give up my dreams all the time. I want freedom, and I want a bit of space for myself. I deserve it. I want Carmosa and her daughters to finally see me as an equal. Besides, I think it's going to be magical tomorrow, and I get to meet the prince, and a little fairy tale of my own. Laugh at me all you will, but I really need that. I start to feel as if Carmosa robbed me of everything that's magical, beautiful, or fun about life, and then replaced it with constant worry or competition. I need to prove myself that those things can still happen, that I'm not as broken as her daughters. Besides, this is only the beginning. After the ball, my life's gonna take a turn. Things will change. You sound very convinced. May I know exactly how you're going to make this change happen? Unlike all the other young girls unhappy with their lives. I sort of hoped you could help me with the details. That's fair enough. But I basically have two routes of action I could take. I could try to escape the town and start all over, or I could try to take control of the house from Carmosa's hands. Indeed you could. But why limit yourself? Why not become the queen? Yes, that's an option too. Since I'm going to the ball, I might as well win the prince's heart. I can see you smirking, but I assure you I'm serious about all of this. I wonder if those are actually, like, possibilities for the game, and it's, like, telling us that. That you are. It's heartwarming to see you so confident about your plans, Cinders. There's much of your mother in you. There were times when she was very determined to act against all odds as well. Is that how you see my situation? Am I throwing myself against the high tide? How I see your situation matters little to both you and your situation. Points of view are nothing more than what they are, points of view from which things are seen, never the things themselves. It's always easier to learn about a point of view than the thing. More often than not, things remain secret, they are uncertain. But one thing is certain, choice. What is your goal? I told you, I want to finally break free, and yes, you suggested a few routes for that. But at this point, they aren't any better than a miller's daughter's dreams of becoming a circus acrobat. If you're serious about it, you need to decide what exactly it is that you want, and then maybe I can help you form an actual plan. What I really want? Oh man! Okay. Yeah, I do agree, Kinetic, that the writing is a bit on the nose. But like I said before, I think I appreciate that because I'm not sure I would read the correct interpretations in if it were trying to be more subtle. So, yeah, this feels like a very big choice. Do we want to retake the residence, go for the prince, or escape town? I kind of want to see what happens if we choose escape town. Like, yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, if nobody in chat has any strong opinions, let's fly the coop. All right, NBA Dag, we're doing it. The truth is, not much good awaits me here. But escape town and then what? I have no idea, Jeffrey Lindsay, but it feels like that, to me, that feels like the greatest deviation from the actual Cinderella story that I've seen so far. So it's really jumping out to me as appealing. Not to mention, apparently everybody in this town sucks. Like, everybody hates everybody in this town. None of the romantic options are doing it for me. Like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what else. I'm wooing the prince to become queen? Please, this is the real world we're talking about. No, my only chance for freedom is a fresh start. I have to escape this place, break free from the prison that is my current life. High-born young girls running away from their lives in big mansions. It's not exactly unheard of. Classic reality show, everyone sucks. It is, it kind of is. Are you sure you're not just trying to get some attention? Oh yes, because all I need is more attention from Carmosa and her daughters. This isn't helpful, you know I'm serious. Besides, I know someone who tends to leave town anytime she's currently residing in, as soon as people start doing pranks to her cat. I don't have a cat. I hate cats. Cats are trouble. Well, I can be trouble too. Are you going to help me or not? All right, you've made your point. Yes, I will help you. But I need to know your exact plans. Traveling alone can be dangerous, you can believe me. Is there someone who would be willing to go with you? I don't think there's anyone I would want to go with. I don't have that many friends. There's Tobias, but I would never ask him to change his life so dramatically for me. Do you realize what you're saying? Traveling alone can be very dangerous. Did she, though? Did she make her point? All of this is very strange. Yes, agreed. From the top of my head, I can remember at least a dozen events that happened during my travels that would end up fatally for someone like you. She's kind of like, yeah, you're gonna die. You're literally gonna die out there. Someone like me? Don't get me wrong, Cinders. You're smart and resourceful beyond your age, but you still be a young, noble girl in a vast and often nasty world. All I'm saying is you should really think this through once more. I know it can be dangerous, but I've made up my mind. You put me in a difficult position. Still, I made a promise to your mother, and I will help you. You want to go alone and test yourself against the world, go ahead. Just don't blame me if you end up with a knife in your back in some dark alley. I'm grateful. Thank you, Geed. I doubt Carmosa will sit back and allow me to run freely, though. I won't get far if she sends her henchmen after me. You're probably right. You won't manage to escape unless you cover your tracks behind you. Someone will have to help you with that. Someone? I don't think I know anyone who I could ask to help me with such a thing. Besides, I don't know the first thing about intrigue. I was never fond of crime stories. You wouldn't learn much from those foolish stories anyway. You can only learn such things from practice. But don't worry. I think I have a good plan. Yes, don't worry about it. Just return to your residence after the ball and wait there. Are you sure? I don't want you to get in any trouble because of me. I told you not to worry about it. So don't worry about it. Alright, if you say it's alright. It looks like we have a plan then. Which is much more than what you had when you came here. It's true. I think I know where I stand now for the first time in a long time. Still, I just have to go to the ball first. But the way things are now, the ball is just a silly girl's dream. I don't even have a dress. Ha! I'm gonna surprise you here. That is the least of your troubles right now. I'll get you a dress. One of my old ones, actually. I used to wear it when I was about your age, and believe me, I melted many hearts in it. I really don't know if... Oh, I'm sure you'll love it. I'll have it cleaned and ready for the ball. Just pay me a visit before you go to the palace, and I'll give it to you. I should also be able to find some way to allow you inside the palace, so don't worry about it. I just need to pull some strings. Geed, I'm really grateful for your help. I don't know what I would do without you. Don't mention it. I made a promise to your mother, remember? And a few words of advice. An old dress don't cost me that much. You might even say I managed to pay my debt cheaply. Cheaply? Well, I'm about to leave this town and was afraid you might come asking for something requiring an actual effort. Ha! Madame Geed is selfish as ever. Do I look like some magical helper from the enchanted realm to you? I'm no fairy godmother, Cinders. And you're very lucky I'm not one of the little folk. Now go. All is set. You know what to do. Yeah, puppy is crying. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I think we'll probably have one more stream of this, but I am actually very excited about the direction that this is going. I love the idea that our new plan is to run off from town, and I hope the game actually like makes good on that and actually lets us do it. We're like, yeah, it really also changes the nature of the ball if our goal is not like to woo the prince or anything, but just to like go, I guess, like for shiggles. Like I'm not entirely sure. My guess is they pull you back. I am feeling that too, Kinetic. I'm thinking what they're actually gonna do is set up a situation where they're gonna make me some amazing offer to come be the queen and like whatever, and then classic storytelling is to make you an unhappy participant. Totally. And then I hope though, like just going by the precedent that this game seems to be setting with romance of like the double opt-in, I'm hoping that the like screw everything, just run off by yourself is like a double opt-in situation, and we just cleared the first one, and I'm really hoping that it's like an actual option for us to take later. So we'll see. I feel like we're gonna have to get past a potential romance situation with Belts McGee, and then there's still the prince to deal with. Yeah, I think you're right. You'll get to choose being queen or freedom. Yeah, I'm really curious. And I'm also like kind of curious if like actually murdering Carmosa was an option that we just opted out of by like not saying we wanted to get our house back. I mean, it's no Drew Barrymore is all I'm saying. I agree. I absolutely love the dress from Ever After. So I'm also very curious about the dress that we're signing up for here. But like that's also kind of the least of my worries. If the game actually lets me like just like screw this life, I'm running off. Like that's gonna be really cool, especially if we can take someone with us. I don't know if it's gonna like let us do all that because it was like, oh, you're gonna need someone to cover for you and whatever. So I'm sure we can't actually run off with Sophia, but I don't know. Kind of interested in where it's going. This particular like couple of scenes, I think, has like has shifted me on this game a little bit. Like I was definitely in the camp of like, wow, this is really dragging. I'm not seeing a ton of departure that's making it interesting yet. All of that, and I feel like the last couple of scenes have turned that around for me a little bit and are giving me that. So I think we'll um, I think we'll probably push through next Sunday and like finish this game no matter what, because I think we probably don't have like that much left. Like there's probably a ball and then some more payoff afterwards and then like some final wrap up. But it might be a slightly longer, shorter stream next time, but I definitely want to like finish this game next Sunday. So it seems close. Yeah, it does. So this has been awesome. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this game. I'm having a lot of fun with our headcanon. I'm absolutely loving, chat, that you guys are getting behind me on my hatred for Smolders McBelts, and yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with things. So thank you so much for hanging out and doing all this with me. Okay. I was honestly afraid I wouldn't be able to get back in time, or worse, stumble upon them on the way home. Yeah, it's definitely been fun times. Let's like actually save it. I keep relying on these autosaves, and yeah, I'm glad to like actually save it. I was really scared at the beginning of stream. I thought I overrode our save and was like yeah, a little upset about it. So Smolders McBelts. I mean, he is though, right? Like, yeah, he's definitely something for sure. Okay. Does anybody have anybody online that they would like to raid? I don't have a ton of people on. Thank you so much, NBA Dag. You also have a wonderful rest of your night. Jeffy Lindsay, thank you so much for coming out. Super thank you for Kinetic, for modding. Awesome job. You're fantastic. And yeah, this has been so much fun. And yeah, if let's see. Yeah, I'm super open. If folks have other people that they want to raid, I am good with that. Otherwise, I might just go for like a random person. Yeah, okay. Okay. It doesn't sound like anybody has like strong opinions about it, so let's go ahead and raid Bumfluff Tornado. I've caught a couple of his streams. He's a friend of a friend, and always seems to be doing something interesting. So let's pop on over and see what he's got going on. All right, thank you guys so much. I will catch you again on Wednesday for Baba's You. If folks are around for that, we'll be continuing some more puzzles. Otherwise, I'll do Cinders last little bit, same time next Sunday. If you're not already following or subscribing or whatever, and you would like to do that, that would be amazing. And there's socials and stuff for you to follow. Otherwise, I will catch you guys again Wednesday. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Have like a wonderful rest of your night. You've all been amazing.